Good morning and welcome to day 10 of the third annual WSOP Daily Spaces coverage and the longest running poker space. I'm Sherry Pluskota, aka your host, and I will have rotating co hosts as we've been doing all summer thus far. And when they appear, we will give them a little shout out. Thank you for joining me. I see D Man and Maureen and Blue so far. And there's one of our co hosts now, Kieran. Appreciate you joining me this morning for sure. We'll give her a chance to get up here on the panel. Until then, I'd like to say many thank yous to Elevator Results, my sponsor. If you need a tailor made workout plan to help you lose weight or gain weight, Elevator Results can design that plan. Follow them on Twitter and check out their site at elevatorresultspt.com. Also, you can find the recordings of my past spaces, including the daily at WSOP coverage, the WPT coverage, as well as the interviews I've done on my YouTube channel at Sherry Pluskota 9212. Please subscribe. Hey, Karen, how are you?
Good morning.
You doing all right?
Yeah, I'm doing well. How about you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Appreciate you co-hosting this morning, and some others will be along in just a moment. Please don't forget our fifth official Spaces meetup game is June 21st at the Bellagio Poker Room at 1 p.m. Come one, come all. It's a cash game, and there will be free pizza thanks to Shaun McCormack and the great people over at the Bellagio Poker Room. Also, there will be a bobblehead Sharks trophy up for grabs. And I'm so excited. I announced yesterday that Ivan Montenegro, owner and founder of the Malta Poker Festival, who is also the poker tour manager of the Sigma Poker Tour at Sigma World, messaged me, and she's giving a package to come to Malta worth $2,700 to be used any way I want. And so we're going to give it away at the meetup game, of course. It's a package which includes 5 nights at the five-star Hilton Hotel, and the dates are October 29th through November the 3rd, and those dates are not flexible. The winner would also get an open bar bracelet and $550 buy-in into the grand event with an estimated prize pool of €1 million. So what a great gift she's given us to give away at the meetup game. So excited about all of that for sure. Also, please be reminded that we always try to give the most updated and accurate information possible, but we do make mistakes because we're human. So please double check any information we provide to ensure yourself the best experience possible. Please correct us if we say something incorrectly, or the information's been updated with new information, because it's more important to get it right than to let it go. So definitely let us know if we've made some mistakes. We don't mind at all. Be reminded that John Sunnuto's celebration of life is June 15th at 11 a.m. at the Tap House. And you do need to RSVP so those folks can be prepared to receive everyone that wants to attend. And I'm going to post that flyer here in a moment that has the phone number that you need to contact RSVP. Poor ASG is trying to get in this space and he's having a hard time. So that's one of our co-hosts as well. So we're going to give him a minute to get into the space. Karen, would you like to tell us a little bit about the chess festival that's going on?
Well, yeah. I don't have, my notes up, but I
That's
think I can
okay.
just speak on it from off the cuff here. So yeah, the Las Vegas Chess Festival is going on right now. It's several events and fun little side events. The cornerstone of the festival is really the main event, which is called the National Open, and that's been around since the 60s. It's really a great festival. You can register online at lasvegaschessfestival.com. They have two grandmasters there. One is my husband, Ben Feingold, and they do game analysis. And there's going to be a streamers meetup, a blitz event, the women's event, uh, kids camp. It's a camp for kids and adults, and
Awesome.
then there kids only tournament, and so it's really a great tournament. It is my favorite event.
Awesome. I
Yeah.
love that. Thank you for the update. And, we know that Ben is there because on Vital Vegas, they tweeted there's a kerfuffle at the Flamingo. So, what's Ben up to? Police and security were on the scene with a man barricaded inside the stall. Do we need to cut him off already, Karen? He's only been in Vegas less than 24 hours.
Well, I knew he wasn't telling me everything.
I saw that and I said, "Oh, Ben's in town. He's partying it up." Oh, I think I have a little FOMO. The Flamingo used to have a really good poker room, and I'm saddened every time I hear the name Flamingo because I always think about how much fun I had in that poker room, and I hate that it's not around anymore. For sure. I wonder where Isaac is. Hopefully he's sleeping in this morning. He certainly deserves it. He's one of the hardest working people in spaces. He helps me out with this space every morning, and he's one of the guys with Green Visor Gang that does a lot of the organizing and creates a lot of the artwork and stuff, and he hosts their space. And so if he's sleeping in this morning, I would hope he is. So anyway, I'm sure he'll be along here shortly, because he has some things I know he wants to share with us this morning as well. And poor ASG is trying to get into the space. Let me see if I have a message from her. Oh, I see. Hey, Maureen, she sent a message. Yes, the Flamingo Poker Room was great. Love the 11 p.m. dailies there. I agree. I totally agree. And I miss those 11 p.m. dailies when I'm in Vegas because those were always like kind of a go to because I was always staying on that side of the strip and I could just walk over there and, and it wasn't, I wasn't fearing for my life because I was, a couple of steps away in either direction. And I could leave that poker room at 2 or 3 in the morning after that 11 p.m. And yeah, those were the days, Maureen. Those were definitely the days. Tomorrow night, which is Friday, I will interview Kenny Lambert Jr. in my normal Friday night space at 4:30 p.m. Pacific, 7:30 Eastern Time. And I'm going to give a little shout out to Robert Turner, who called me after our show yesterday. My days are all mixed up. Yesterday, and he said, "Hey, I've got somebody here I'm having lunch with that I think would be a great interview for your for your space." And I was like, "Oh." And he goes, "Yeah, Kenny Lambert." And I was like, "Oh, hell yeah." In case you don't know, he is a living legend. Uh, Robert handed the phone to him and we got to chat for a few minutes. And anyway, Kenny started out as a busboy at Binion's and worked his way up to become the director of the WSOP. In his father's footsteps, his dad held that position before him, and yeah, he's done a lot of great things in the poker world, and I'm sure he's going to have lots of great stories to share with us, old Vegas style. So looking forward to that. So shout out to Robert Turner for making that happen with a quick phone call yesterday. So that's again Friday at 4:30 Pacific, 7:30 Eastern in my normal Friday night space. I will interview Kenny Lambert. ASG, are you here, buddy?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. I know it's aggravating. Everybody's having a hard time getting in spaces. Not sure if they're going to ever get that figured out for us or not, but maybe now that Doge is kind of on the back burner for Elon, he can finally focus on Twitter and get these glitches worked out. Do you want to dive into your hot topic of the day, ASG?
Sure. So yesterday at some point, Poker Atlas decided to update their app, and that's what going. They said, "Hello." This is their tweet. "Hello, world. With the launch of Poker Atlas Pro, we're getting a lot of questions about whether live info has disappeared. Please let know that all the same live info is still available on the respective venue pages." To that, I say I disagree. So, with their new app, they've added a pro version that I think it said. Sorry, I can't even see the screenshot I sent you, but I think it said it's $5 a month and $50 a year.
Yeah, something like that. Yep.
Yeah, and so now you have to pay for it, and in order to see the names on the lists at the. This is, I think, just for cash games, but I haven't. I'm not in Vegas, and none of my local casinos use Poker Atlas, so I can't really look at the full details. I'm just like navigating the app of what I see. So on the cash games, I can see how many tables they're running and how many are on the list using the room display. But if you click on the table, you can't sign up for the game, and you can't see. Not only can you not see the names of the people on the list, but because you can't see
Right.
the names of the people on the list, you can't see how many of them are call-ins versus actually being there.
Oh,
Um,
wow. So, in other words, unless you pay, is that app even going to be useful to you?
yeah, exactly. And yeah, like it says, enter your three. So I just put like join waitlist,
Right.
and then it says enter requested 3-letter waitlist alias, and then it says get pro to keep using my previous username, which I or another alias with up to 7 letters. So they've actually maximized how many. I don't know if that was a thing before too, where they maximized how many
Oh, my God.
letters you can use in your name. Uh, yeah, and they just kind of like, at least as far as the players are concerned, threw this update out of nowhere. Like, did not warn or tell the public that, hey, we're going to be doing this soon. They just threw this update out yesterday.
In the middle of the WSOP and summer camp around Vegas. So,
Correct. And this was like, I think just the last year, or maybe within the last few months, that the wind changed from Bravo to Poker Atlas. Like they, so
it is the last
yeah,
year, like maybe 6 months for sure.
yeah,
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So Poker Atlas has now become useless unless you pay for that subscription, people. And guess what? My prediction is you hear it here in my recorded space on the 10th day of the WSOP. Mark my words. I would predict that the WSOP Plus app will do the same thing in the next year or two. Mark my words. Um, because what's the use of building an app if you're not going to get paid for that app? I mean, come on, people. And we are a captive audience, so why wouldn't they make it a pay to see app? But anyway, that's my prediction. Anybody want to come and comment on that app going behind a paywall, so to speak? It's kind of disappointing, actually. Um, it's a very useful tool. I just don't know if because I get, for what I do, the only time I use it, Poker Atlas, is if I'm in town, I need a quick reference. But I have no problem going to a Twitter account of a casino or even a website of a casino to find out the information I'm seeking. And quite honestly, um, I don't, as far as the cash games are concerned, yeah, it would be nice to still know the wait list, but I certainly can just call the poker room, can I, and check on the wait list. So I guess there's ways around it. It depends on how dependent you are on that app.
yeah. Like I used to, and I'm not sure if I would call them now or if I would just like make my own assumptions. But yeah, I used to uh, use it to, especially to see like how much of the list is call-in versus actually there to
Right.
determine whether or not it's worth it to go to the poker room, or whether
Yeah.
I'll be waiting forever when I get there.
So, I guess we go back to pre-Poker Atlas app, right? uh, when you want to get on the list, you call in. So, I mean, I'm just giving you guys some options. And guess what? Is $5 a month horrific? No, but for me, it's just the point of it. And again, people deserve to get paid for their work. So you have to also understand, the flip side of that is, they deserve to be paid for their work. So, it is what it is, folks. Moving right along. You got enough of that off your chest, ASG? I know it was bothering you.
No, I just wanted to. I I was extra bothered because like I had just recommended this app like last week.
I think because you recommended it last week, you have to pay their first year, but you didn't hear that from me.
Well, they don't even like have as I said, uh, for Vegas they have resorts in the Lynn. I don't think they have anything near me. I know they're big in Texas and some California.
Yeah,
It's very regional.
yeah, absolutely, for sure. And just for those that are just joining us, we're talking about the Poker Atlas has now started a paywall, so to speak. You have to pay to use their app, and it's going to be called Poker Atlas Pro, and it's about $5 a month. I also kind of wanted to bring up the WSOP Plus app. Has, to their credit, they are definitely trying to work out the kinks and update the app with, updated, you know, and better service to the players on that app. And one of the things they heard from the players and whatever is that it was hard to figure out how to put your chip stacks size in the app. So if you're sitting at the table, they want you to go into the app and tell them what your chip stack looks like. And it was a how do you say it? Multi toggle um, process. So you'd have to, do two or three things before you actually got to the point where you could actually add the chip count. And so, of course, people didn't know what the process was to do it and got confused, couldn't do it, so they didn't. Well, now they've actually put a toggle that says enter your chip stack or something. So kudos to them for updating the app with something to improve the apps. And they're doing that daily. I've noticed some other things. And so kudos to them. They're evolving and they're trying to make it better for us. And of course, that's before they start to charge us for us. But go ahead, ASG.
No, I'm just gonna say I still have not heard yet if they have prevented from jokers from saying I have a billion chips right now. But
Well, and that's the other issue with it, right? That, the trolls that we all love to hate, to hate, are now adding, well, how do you say it? Fictitious chip stacks. Like, why ruin a good thing, people? Just put your stack size in there. You don't have to double it to make yourself look good or whatever. Just put the true number in there or don't put anything, but why ruin it for everybody else by putting in a fake number?
yeah,
Like, grow the fuck up.
Josh Aria said there should be penalties included for putting ridiculous chip counts in the system.
Speaking of ridiculous, let me try to pull it up real quick. Did you guys see what Shaun Deeb tweeted? I have to say that I'm a little disappointed. I'm not surprised because Sean is the one, but I am a little disappointed that he tweeted out yesterday the following: WSOP scumbag alert. This player sees he's under the gun, knows the floor won't force him to play, and decides to walk around for a few hands to get the cutoff instead of being in the blind. And the very first response to the tweet was Deep having taken a picture of the gentleman and posting his name and his picture in the first response of the tweet. What do we think about that? What do we think
The
about that?
rules say you can do what he did. as long as he was a new late registrant and not a table mover. Kessler posted about that rule being a rule this year. If you
Couple
want the
days
rule
ago.
change, deal with the rule change.
Right. Karen, what do you think?
About the enforcement of the rule,
Well,
or
about any of it. That Deep called him out, put his picture up, put his name up.
um I err on the side of not doing that kind of thing,
Right.
personality difference. But, with regards to the the rule itself, I don't understand why they don't have floor helping people get to the tables and making sure that they're not avoiding the blinds. I think that's wrong to be able to do that.
Yeah, it's kind of a slippery slope. Anyway, I'm going to let others comment before I get into mine. Go ahead, Dana. Welcome.
Good morning.
Morning.
I think it's a douchebag kind of thing to do. Um,
Which to
to
which?
what Deeb did,
Okay. Okay. I just want to be clear.
because you can't really prove someone's intention when they're walking around. I mean, is that a provable fact that the guy was almost angling, or
Well, it seems to be going on a lot now that that rule has been clarified and people know that it exists, that you can do that. Because even other pros that have been tweeting, oh, I got to the table and I was going to do that, but it felt icky and I didn't want to do it. And so, it's definitely not against the rules.
well, if it's not against the rules, then I just think that, I mean, you posting a picture and you've got a profile like that, kind of puts a target on the guy's back more so than anybody else's. And I just think that's the douchebag of the day
All
Well,
right.
kind of thing to do.
and just to chime back in a little bit, I said, I wouldn't do that either. And um and I'm agreeing with what Dana's saying, because you don't really know intent. But also there's that story that Schwan posted about that poor noob to Turner,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
how they just jumped to made assumptions and jumped to conclusions about her intent, and they were just way off the mark. Not to mention the fact, of course, that they seem to be not enforcing the rule consistently. But yeah,
Right.
I don't think it's a good idea to tweet stuff like that.
Well, and I'm going to read what Schwan wrote in a tweet about that in a minute, but I wanted to finish this discussion first because I agree with you guys. Jonathan, come on up, buddy. You were up here. You're more than welcome to come give your opinion for sure on the matter. Um, for me, it's like twofold. The guy's going by the rules, so we can't, be mad at him for going by the rules. For me, I would just sit down. I'm just going to tell you like it is. I'm just going to go to my table and sit down. If I'm in the blinds, I'm in the fucking blinds. And that's okay. Now I'm going to tell you, what if I only, I don't know, what if I just, is it because he waited so long? Like there's so many variances to the, ways of thinking about it. But for me, I would personally not do what this guy did. But also, why are we calling out somebody and posting their picture and their name when he went by the rules? We may not like the that he can do that, and we can do it too. And that's what we should address with the WSOP. Hey, we don't like this. We want it changed. We don't like this, but we can't crucify somebody and dox him for going by the rules. I don't think that's very fair. I don't think it's a good look, and I think we need to do better. Go ahead, ASG.
I did see a couple of pros saying, I thought this was interesting, that they said they're like, I don't do it, but if I have backers, I should owe it to them to dodge the blinds.
Well, and it's a fair, I mean, it's a fair, honestly, it is a fair way to look at it. I mean, the for me, the whole thing is he didn't break any rules. It's not against the rules. Why are we doxing him? Like, and taking his picture and posting it. Like, I don't think that's fair. If he wasn't going by the rules or did something shady or cheated or whatever, okay, dox him. Put his name and picture out there. I say that about even if I'm at a poker table and somebody's acting like an asshole to someone else at the table, I might have to call them out on social media, depending on what they're doing. I've never done that, but I would consider it. But the guy's going by the rules. So I don't know. It's such a I don't know. It just didn't sit right for me to read that tweet. I felt like as a community, we should do better than that tweet. But that's my 2 cents. I'm going to pull up that tweet that Karen was talking about, um, and it's kind of long, so bear with me, you guys. Have to issue a complaint on behalf of my girl at WEI2 Poker here. She has probably played a handful of tournaments in her life and registered for the 1K this week. She got her chips and walked directly to her table. When she got there, the dealer was in mid pitch, so she thought she was doing the polite thing by standing behind the table waiting for the deal to finish. She had no idea whether she would have to sit in the big blind or not. The floor, who was close by, thought she was dodging her big blind and issued her a 1 round penalty before she even put her rack down. Then they yelled at her to take the penalty behind the ropes far from the table. She waited about 20 minutes and eventually had the courage to ask another floor if her penalty was over, since she didn't know how she could keep track from so far away. Apparently, her table broke and they didn't bother telling her. When she got to her new table, they claimed she hadn't sat out for a whole round yet. So they estimated how many more hands that would entail and made her wait even longer. She ended up paying 2 orbits of big blinds before she could even sit and play a hand. So that is is that where we're at with this? Like, what are we doing? Food for thought, people. When you're going to your table, I would just go sit down and just, if you're in the blinds, take the blinds. Like, there's no gray area in that, right? Don't try to be polite and wait for the dealer to finish. You know, just crash on in there. I don't know. They need to look at all that, though. Anybody else have any more comments on that? Oh, Dana's back. Hold on. She must have been kicked out. As soon as you connect, Dana, go ahead.
Sorry. Way is an absolute sweetheart and a killer player.
Right
Um,
on.
she is on Hustler pretty often, and I believe she's a Torelli student.
Right.
And she's an assassin in the cash games.
Right.
And this is like super irritating.
Well,
I get very protective over people.
just to be clear, it wasn't her. She was posting that for a friend of hers. Just so we're clear on that.
No, Schwan was posting it for Way.
Right. Okay. I just want to make sure that
Yeah, and
we're
and
clear.
I'm just confirming Way is a super sweetheart.
Oh, maybe her name cut out. I didn't hear you say way. So
Oh,
sorry
sorry
about that.
about that.
Okay. No worries. No worries. I
Yeah.
just wanted to be clear that we were um
Mhm.
putting it out there correctly. It's just I'm glad that it was called out, and it's very unfortunate. But the WSOP definitely needs. Sorry, I had a phone call. I don't know what the answer is. I don't think they could hire enough people, and I don't think the TD has enough hours in their day to escort every new player to a table. So that's an issue. But, you know, and I hate to say this, but maybe it's going to end up being tracking through the WSOP app. So when you enter the building, they know you're in the building and you have X amount of minutes to get to your table. I don't know. And I certainly wouldn't want that. That would tick me off. Pardon me. That would tick me off to have them, monitoring my whereabouts through the app. But they have to figure something out for sure. Interesting to think about, though. All right, you guys, we're going to move on. Karen, would you like to talk about the Venetian?
Oh, okay. I didn't know I was going to start with that. I can though, because it was just that one-off tournament
Yep.
that Stacy mentioned. Let me get it pulled up, and I can just tell you the name of the tournament. But yes, Stacy, my friend Stacy, a lot of you guys know her. She's always really knowledgeable, and she was just telling me about a potential overlay. So let me just
So
pull
we're
it
going to
up.
play the siren potential overlay.
So the one that she mentioned, let's see, it's Deep Stack Champion event number 30 at the Venetian, and there are 3 flights: Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And Stacy was telling, and it's a $1,600 buy-in, 1.5 million guarantee. And Stacy mentioned to me that she did the math herself, and I trust her, that there would need to be 900 and something entries to make the guarantee. And after day 1A, there were only like, she checked, I don't know if she checked at the very end of the day, but there were like maybe 40 entries. So it didn't start out a lot. Now, obviously, as it gets towards the weekend, they'll get more.
Right.
But she just mentioned this is a good one just to kind of look at for people, because, if there's by Friday, if there's going to be a big overlay, rush on over there.
Heck yeah. So that's one to keep an eye on, folks. And that's over at the Venetian. Also, over at the Win, these are like specialty items today on our menu. Over at the Win is a $400 satellite into the women's high roller. And I think the last couple of days I may have said that the high roller was a 5K. It's actually a 3K high roller for ladies. 5 seats guaranteed in that satellite tonight at 7 p.m. at the Win. $400 satellite into the women's 3K high roller, 5 seats guaranteed. Great value on that satellite. So I just wanted to kind of highlight those two things, possible overlay and that women's satellite over at the Win. So we're going to get started with poker around town, and give me a minute to get my notes organized because I am on the fly. But before I do, let me read these messages in the chat, because of course we love when people put messages in the chat. uh, Dana said adding your own chip stack in the app is like self-checkout. Yes, it is. Point well made. And John Robertson, we miss you, buddy. John Robertson wrote, trolls in the poker community, question mark. You sound surprised. And he knows. He knows. Okay, Maureen added, I can't believe I'm saying this, but if it is in the rules this year, then it is a disadvantage not to wait until the cutoff to play. I think Daniel implied next year it will be different. If you have chips in the tray, then it is a different rule. Yes, indeedy. Yes, indeedy. So we're going to take a look around town at the different venues and see what poker is going on. So over at the Win today at 12 o'clock is the No Limit Day 2. At 1300 hours is the PLO tournament. It's a $2,200 buy-in, $200,000 guarantee. 1,800 hours is the PLO Turbo, $1,100 buy-in, $100,000 guarantee. At 1,900 hours is a Saturday to the 3K ladies event that I just outlined. 5 seats guaranteed, $400 buy-in, and that's all taking place at the Win today. Over at the Venetian is a 11:10 a.m. tournament. It is the MSPT Day 1A. So Jeremy and the gang from MSPT is going to be there. $1,600 buy-in, $1.5 million guarantee. Good luck to them in that kickoff. At 1,810 hours is the No Limit Bounty Tournament, $600 guarantee. No, it isn't. It's a $600 buy-in, $40,000 guarantee. Over at the Aria today is a 11 o'clock tournament. It's a PLO tournament, $800 buy-in, $150,000 guarantee. Don't forget the final table members will receive that Covenant Aria hoodie. So, and I posted a picture of that the other day. It's a pretty cool hoodie. Over at Resorts World at 12:05 and 19:05 is a $200 buy-in, 5K guarantee. Over at the MGM Grand is a PLO Mystery Bounty Day 1A at 10 a.m., $600 buy-in, $200,000 guarantee. At 1,800 hours is day 2 of their No Limit tournament. 1,400 hours is their No Limit tournament, $400 buy-in, 30K guarantee. 1,800 hours is the PLO Mystery Bounty 1B, $600 buy-in, $200,000 guarantee over at the MGM Grand. And their last tournament of the day is their 2,100 hours No Limit tournament, $150 buy-in, $3,000 guarantee. Over at the Orleans at 11 o'clock is a No Limit tournament, $400 buy-in, 40K guarantee. 1,600 hours is their '08 tournament, $240 buy-in, 10K guarantee. At 1,800 hours at the Orleans is their No Limit tournament, $200 buy-in, $15,000 guarantee. And their Survivor starts at 2,200 hours. It's $125 buy-in, $1,500 guarantee. Over at the Nugget is a seniors tournament starting at 10 a.m., $400 buy-in, $75,000 guarantee. At 12 p.m. is their horse tournament on their very original first schedule. It was a triple stud tournament, but it is now changed to a horse tournament with an H, and that is a $400 buy-in, 30K guarantee. 1,500 hours, and at 1,900 hours is flights 1A and flights 1B of their $350 buy-in, 250K guarantee, all taking place at the Orleans. Now let me switch over to South Point. And at South Point today at 10:10 a.m. is their daily no limit tournament, $120 buy-in, 10K guarantee. At 2 p.m. or 2:10 is their Turbo Bounty, $120 buy-in, 5K guarantee. At 6:10 p.m. is their Deep Stack, no limit tournament, $180 buy-in, 10K guarantee. And our crowd dusty favorite is the 10:10 Turbo Bounty, 3K guarantee, $120 buy-in. That is all taking place at the South Point today. Be reminded their midsummer series starts on June the 16th with flight 1A at 10:10 a.m. Over at Caesar's Palace at 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. is a $120 buy-in, $50 add-on, $15, 15K starting stack, 20-minute blinds, 1K guarantee. Also at Caesars today is their 2 p.m. and 9 p.m. tournaments, $160 buy-in, $50 add-on, 20K starting stack, 20-minute blinds, 2K guarantee. Mandalay Bay, yes, I just said it right. I'm so proud. Has a 1 p.m. and 8 p.m. tournament, $60 buy-in, no limit tournament, 10K starting stack, 15-minute blinds, no guarantee. That's Mandalay Bay. Over at Planet Hollywood, 10 a.m. is their $100 buy-in. Well, actually, it is 10 a.m., 2 p.m., 6 p.m., and 10 p.m. All are $100 buy-in tournaments, 20K starting stacks, 15-minute blinds with a 1K guarantee. That's what's happening over at Planet Hollywood. Now, on to the WSOP, a crowd favorite. Starting with some results from yesterday, we have Event number 13 was a $1,500 no limit six-handed event. It had 2,354 runners. David Jackson was the winner and took home 276,000. Shudan Zhao, I hope I'm saying his name right, was in second place for 197,000 to be stuffed into his pockets. The prize pool was $414,000. That was event 13. Event number 14, $25,000 mixed PLO, no limit high roller. There were 245 entries. Going into today, there are 5 remaining. The chip leader and, Team Spaces player, Ben Lamb, is in first place with chips at 17 million in chips. Ben's from the United States, and that's really good for our fantasy team Spacers. App Garza's in second place. He is also from the United States and has 6.6 million on his stack. Zhongjing Yang has 5.1 million, and Robert Cowan has 4.5 million. Brandon Mitchell in fifth place as far as chip stacks are concerned has 3.1 million. So good luck to those final 5. Event number 15, $1,500 mixed PLO high low 8 Omaha, high low 8 Big O. There were 1,239 entries. And going into today, there are 25 left with a $1.7 million prize pool. 258,000 waits on top for the winner. The chip leader right now from the UK is Benny Glazer at 12.1 million. He's going to have a great summer. Already is having a great summer. Travis Pearson has 11.4 million. He's from the United States and in third place as far as chip stacks concerned. David Shamil has 7 million, and he is also from the United States. Oh, let me get up Isaac. Event number 16 was the $600 pot limit Omaha Steep Stack. There were 31,010 players, not 31,000. There were 3,110 players. There are 100, no, this is from yesterday. Hold on. There was 1.6 million in the prize pool, and the winner is Christian Gutierrez he takes home 193,000. Robert, I'm going to spell his last name, Robert, Chorlian, took home second place at 129,000. And yes, people, if I got paid to do this job, I would definitely be looking up the pronunciations of these names. But I'm not taking my time out of my day to do so. Sorry, we will spell them. Event number 17 is the 2K tournament. It's a no limit tournament. There is 3.1 million in the prize pool. And unfortunately, there is no chip stacks listed on the app. They were not updated, but there are 19 left in that tournament, event number 17. And there are 1,692 entries. 254 will get paid. 436,000 waiting at the top. A min cash is $4,000. Event number 18, the 10K Dealer's Choice six-handed. 123 entries. There are 14 left. 1.1 million in the prize pool. Waiting at the top is 354,000. The leader right now is Ryan Honig with 2 million in chips. He is from the United States. Dario Elotto of Italy is in second place with 1.2 million. Dan Zach has 813 million. A notable still in it to win it is Gus Hansen in 14th place with 282,000 in his chip stacks. Out in 15th place was Phil Hellmuth for 22,000. That's what took place. Now let's look at the tournaments for today. Thursday at 10 a.m., event number 19, $500 no limit Colossus flight 1B. 12 p.m., day 1, event number 22, the $25,000 no limit six-handed high roller. At 1 p.m. is the final day of event number 17, which was the 2K No Limit event. At 1 p.m. is the final day of event number 18, the 10K Dealer's Choice six handed. Also at 1 p.m. is day two of event number 21, the $1,500 pot limit Omaha High, Low, 8 or better. At 1 p.m. is day two of event 20, the $1,500 no limit shootout round two. And at 2 p.m. is day one of event number 23, the $1,500 Badoogie tournament, which I hear is Alan Kessler's favorite tournament. Not. Karen, would you like to tell us about the Saddies and deep stacks that are going on today?
Yes, I will. I'm going to get the app up. I've added in two or three extra ones
Perfect.
because I became aware that some of the satellites they don't put in the app until an hour before you
Yep.
register.
Yep.
So I pulled in maybe three extra ones because of that. But let me just get.
And did I skip over the results of the Colossus? I think I did. While you're doing that, I'm going to look up
Yeah.
1A of the Colossus. How did I skip that? Shame, 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 shame.
All right, so here we go. I've got my list here.
You go right ahead, hon.
And then you can be looking up that unless you wanted to go
Nope,
first.
you go
Oh,
right
you need a
ahead. I'm
second.
looking.
Okay. Okay. So the first so I'm doing deep stack and saddies just at the Horseshoe in Paris.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and so the first one I have has already started. It started at 9 a.m. Event 170, the 9 o'clock seniors deep stack, $250 entry, 25K starting stack. And the next one I have, this one I don't think is on the app, but should be um, soon. But the
Soon. Yep.
Colossus Landmark Mega Sati that starts at noon. It's $70, 10K starting stack. So that's to get into the Colossus. Then the next one I have is Event 172, No Limit Hold'em Daily Deep Stack at 1 o'clock, 250 buy-in, 25K starting stack. Event 173, Daily Landmark Mecca at 3 o'clock. That one's 240 buy-in, 10K starting stack. Then there's, let's see, Event 175, No Limit Hold'em Daily Deep Stack again, but this one's a $400 buy-in, 30K starting stack. Then um, I've got the Daily Landmark Mega Satellite at 7 p.m. That's 580 buy-in, 10K starting stack. Then I have Event 177, No Limit Hold'em Daily Deep Stack at 8 o'clock. This one, we're back to the 200 buy-in again, 20K starting stack. And then the last one I have is the Daily Landmark Mega Satellite at 10 p.m., $135 buy-in, 10K starting stack.
Thank you so much for that update. And you're absolutely right. There are some tournaments that they're not updating until an hour before. And that's kind of why I stopped even calling those out on a daily basis is I just don't have time to look that up at the last minute. And so I think if we just shot them out every couple of days, because some of them are weekly tournaments like the seniors event. And so I feel like if we call them out every few days, everybody will kind of get the gist and they also know where to look them up. So appreciate you, Karen. And I want to give an update on the Colossus Flight 1A. Had 2,773 entries, and there are 410 moving on to day two from that flight. So I'm not sure how I skipped that on my list, but I did, and we have updated it now. So welcome, Isaac, and good afternoon. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you, thank you. Hope everybody's doing well today.
Doing good. I was hoping you were sleeping in, pal.
Oh man, I wish I was sleeping in. That would have been the
Dang it.
best outcome. Thank you.
Dang it. I was like, well, maybe he's sleeping in, which you're deserving of such just like, we know you're working hard on all the projects you're working on. So anyway, I gave you a little shout out that I was hoping you were sleeping in. But do you have a casino history or two you'd like to go over with us today?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Awesome.
Let's see. Let's pull up today's latest. So, okay, we can start with the Tropicana, the South Strip Showgirl Spark. Okay, the Tropicana opened in 1957 with a bold vision, glamour, showgirls, and an unmistakably Miami flair. Palm trees, pastel pinks, breezy pool scenes, but behind the beauty, the mob was moving chips in the shadows. It was called the Tiffany of the Strip, and let me see, for a time it lived up to that name. They had one of the first full production shows in Vegas and even brought in Folies Bergère direct from Paris. The casino's early years were tinged with scandal. Multiple organized crime families were caught skimming millions. Even Frank Costello, one of New York's most powerful mob bosses, was linked to its operations. Despite that, the Trop became a Hollywood magnet. Elizabeth Taylor, Sammy Davis Jr., and Frank Sinatra all passed through its halls. And though the building aged, its cultural imprint never really faded. Today, as it's set to be demolished, so yeah, this was right before it got demolished.
Right.
To make way for the new A's baseball stadium, the Tropicana reminds us that Vegas' eternal balancing act, beauty out front, business in the back room, does work. Let me see.
Love that. Thank you.
And the next one that I have is the Dunes. And this one I've waited to talk about for a bit. Let's see. Before the Mirage or the Bellagio, there was the Dunes, opened in 1955. It leaned heavy into the Arabian Nights theme, genie lamps, camel statues, and one of the strip's first eye-catching neon signs, a giant sultan waving tourists inside. But early years were rough. It struggled financially until the mob came in and stabilized things. Led by Mo Dalitz and his Cleveland Syndicate, the real power play in the 70s, they built a massive 35-story tower, the tallest in Vegas at the time, and they paired it with golf course and to lure in all of the high rollers. Elvis Presley notably filmed scenes at the Dunes. Liberace headlined, and at one point, their sign was so massive it had to be anchored in concrete below the property. In 1993, the Dunes was imploded in very dramatic Vegas fashion to make room for the Bellagio. It wasn't just a demolition, it was a passing of the torch from old Vegas spectacle to New Vegas elegance. And that is the Dunes. And those are my two for today.
Well, thank you. I love hearing all that information for sure. Some of the history of our casinos in Vegas, and appreciate you
I
taking
wish
that.
I wish Rick was here today actually because isn't that where they held that one game, right? The game that like didn't end for years, the high limit high roller game, if I'm
Oh,
not
I
mis
thought that was at the Nugget or Binions.
is that where it was? Cuz
We'll have to ask. We'll
yeah,
have to
yeah,
ask.
I want to confirm cuz I want to say that I had read an article from
It
Poker.
may have been, you know what I'm thinking about? Because Robert talks about that. It may have been the longest PLO game was at the Nugget or the Binions. I could have that confused. But yeah, let's definitely ask him the next time he's with us.
Yeah, I want to verify that cuz I'm almost certain that it was the game that Pudgy Pearson and Doyle and all of them used to have all the
Well,
time, right?
I'm going to
So,
tell you something. Tomorrow night, Kenny Lambert, living poker legend, is going to be on my 7:30 Eastern time, 4:30 Pacific time space, my normal Friday night space. And he will also be able to tell that information. So we could ask him tomorrow night.
I'll have
Uh,
that question locked and ready.
okay. So, because he actually started out working at Binion's. So, anyway, and he's going to be so many old school stories. I can't wait, honestly. I'm so excited he's coming on.
What a
Um,
cool guest, by the way, and
oh
how
my
you
God.
landed that guest is even cooler.
Thank you. It helps to know people, Isaac. That's all I'm going to tell you. Networking never stops.
If you know, you know, right?
Yeah, yes, sir. And I'm glad people don't know I know. But anyway, we're going to keep moving. Isaac, you and I had a conversation the other day, And you said you knew some great Korean places in Las Vegas you'd like to share with us. You want to do that now?
Let me get those places. Give me a couple of minutes.
Sure, absolutely. Until then, Karen, tell us, because we have not spoken about your stream. Pardon me, I got the hiccups. We have not spoken about your streaming. So tell people about streaming and how to find your stream and all that stuff.
Okay, awesome. I hope I didn't lose my connection. I went out in the garage for a second, but you can still hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. Dangerous to go out in the garage. Um, my stream is you can find it on Twitch and it's called It's Ben and Karen, no apostrophe. It's Ben and Karen. And so I stream 4 to 5 days a week. I've just recently increased it and I stream tournaments and I do a lot of giveaways. And in fact, today I'm competing for tournament bucks to give away. So it's fun. I'm enjoying my new chapter of streaming.
Okay. And who are you streaming for?
I stream for ACR Poker. I didn't know if I was allowed to plug.
Yes, of
Let me
course, of
plug.
course. This is a plug. This is a plug.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
I
Yes,
I
ma'am.
stream for ACR Poker, and I would love it if you guys check me out. And what else can I say? That's it. It's my stream is I don't do a delay, but I do try to talk about my hands after the fact. So come on by and check me out.
Well, and I'm going to tell you, in my space, it's always a plug because I believe in lifting people up and promoting them and helping them get viewers and supporters and backers. And because that's who I am. I believe in you, Karen, and I want to help you by boosting you up. So it's always a plug. Always plug yourself if I ask you to do so.
Thank you so much, Sherry.
And guess what? Even if I don't ask and you want to plug something, just say, hey, can I plug something? Absolutely. Go ahead, girl. And that goes for everybody. Anybody listening, listening on replay, please come up and promote something you're working on. I am all about that. And even if it's not in the poker world and you still need to promote something, come on by. I have no problem with that at all. Before I get back to Isaac, I do want to say something that was brought to my attention today that I just haven't had a chance to figure out or look up, but I kind of wanted to give it a shout out anyway. It was brought to my attention that early on, when Clayton passed, somebody had tagged me in a tweet or tweets about it. And I didn't know that until this morning. So I appreciate that person doing that for me. And I'm suspecting it was probably under another tweet or on somebody's Twitter account that I have blocked. So I didn't see it. So I apologize that I didn't know about it until today. And honestly, I still haven't seen it. And I only know about it because somebody had mentioned it to me this morning and asked me if I knew, and I didn't. I didn't see it. I didn't know that you had tweeted it for me to be aware of the situation, and I appreciate you doing so. So there you go. Just wanted to put that out there that I wasn't ignoring the tweet or being a bitch, or I just didn't know. I just did not know. So, but I appreciate you wanting to keep me in the loop about it for sure. Okay, Isaac, go ahead, buddy.
Okay, so first off, we got the cheap and deep. Now I'm playing. All right, so sorry, I gotta blame ASG for that one. That one is gonna stay in my memory forever, yo.
Thanks, ASG.
All right, so let me see here. Now, funny enough, my favorite place, that we stumbled into it. Right, we were on the east side, and we were by the Target. I want to say that it's off of. Is that Flamingo that it's off of? Yeah, it's just. Sorry, it's about off of Flamingo and the
Just
huge
tell us
street.
the name of it. Don't worry about it. They could look it up.
Yeah, let me see here. So the first one is called Chubby Cattle. Now, Chubby Cattle, it's in like the Chinatown area. Very good. The
Wait,
qu-
did you say chubby cattle?
oh yeah, I said Chubby
Okay.
Cattle. All right.
All right. I just want to make sure I'm hearing it right. I'm old.
Oh no, no, don't worry, don't worry. Um, they they're newer than a lot of the other ones in Vegas, but they have very fast become one of the best because they have very high quality meat there. Like that's the thing about Korean barbecue. It's kind of like all you can eat sushi, right? It's only as good as the people preparing it.
Right.
And chubby cattle, you're definitely gonna like. If you've never had Korean barbecue before, that's gonna be the play. There is Gen's Korean barbecue, which is a brand that's actually out here and all over Southern California. They're pretty good. There's one on the strip actually, I believe located kind of like by the Planet Hollywood, and
Okay.
that one's not bad if you're looking for something and you're on the strip.
Can you spell that for us?
Yeah, Gen is spelled Gen.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's
Thank you.
Gen Korean barbecue, and they're not too bad. Now, the funniest named and our almost always go to is all you can eat Korean barbecue. I give it up to these people. We went there because of the name, because we're like, yo, you want to talk about truth in advertising, right? Now, we've been there and it's changed a couple of times in terms of like how they serve you, but this place, what I like about all you can eat Korean barbecue is that it's a lot of food and all of their banchan, and banchan are all the sides that come with Korean barbecue. So when you go and they put like, the pickled this, the pickled that, the piece of radish, like all of these little things that you need to kind of eat the meat with. Well,
Okay. Garnishes.
yeah, all the garnishes we call them, they call them banchan, right?
Okay.
And that stuff is usually brought to your table, and you have to order it over and over because it comes in small bits, right? Well, here at
Right.
this place, they do it kind of like a all you can eat style, where it's already, they have
Buffet.
stations of it where you could run up and get that, which is pretty cool, right? And
Nice.
it's very reasonably priced. I think this one is really good for big ass groups because we've gone there like 12 deep, and we were able to get very decent service. Matter of fact, when I told you we're gonna go eat Korean barbecue, we're gonna go
Yep.
here, and it's right on
Yep.
the east side, not too far from the strip. So this one is kind of like my top one. And I would say that those three right there, if you try any one of them, you're gonna be very happy. Chubby Cattle, though, like I said, notable mention. I think from everywhere else that I've been on that side, it's very, very, very good. So I would say, we're probably going to try that one, Sherry. Be prepared.
I'm looking forward to it for the audience to know I have never had Korean barbecue. And so that's going to be on our list of things to do in Vegas.
Yeah, and
Uh,
since you love Japanese food like I do, right? Something that I actually found out is that it's starting to also pop up in Vegas. Now, I don't know, I haven't seen that the Gyukaku has opened, which is usually the big brand for that.
right.
But there are a couple that are just opening. I'm hearing. I was looking for them to see if I could find the name, but that's going to be our mission, is to try
Okay.
that. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Let me tell you something. The Japanese restaurant that we're going to is a secret because it's hard to get into. But we're going to this one, and we could go to the second one. That'll never hurt my feelings, for sure. But the reason we're going to go to this one is because we can request a chef, and I have software Brian to thank for this because this is somewhere he frequents, and this is a chef that he recommend that you request, and it's actually one of the owners of the place. And let me tell you, the sauces, they make like 8 sauces for you to use with your meal. And the chef makes those sauces fresh right in front of you. And the sauces are amazing and on top of the amazing food. So we're going to go to the secret spot, but we can certainly go to this new spot you're talking about as well.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And if you're in Vegas when I'm there and want to go to Japanese, let me know and we'll put you, when I make the reservation, I need to do that today. Let me write myself a note. Um, when I make the reservation, I always put an extra couple of names on it because, you end up, meeting up with people that you didn't know were there or whatever, and they want to go. So I will make the reservation today and include a few extra seats for whomever. So if you're interested in Japanese, I'll post the date that I'll pick out because, of course, it's going to depend on what's available from them, right? So there you
Oh
go.
yeah, oh yeah. Now, what I really want to know, since I see Sean McCormack down there, what's the best barbecue in Vegas?
Oh, snap. And we talked about that last year too.
Yep.
We know Best Mexican is my favorite
Javier's.
Javier's,
Yeah, I
brother.
already know.
You already know Javier's is on the list. I can't go there without going to Javier's. It's like sinful. Um, for sure, Javier's yummy. I can taste the margarita now. I have FOMO so bad. Anyway, it's so bad. I am going to pull up my facts on women in the Poker Hall of Fame, and we're going to discuss class of 2009 and the inductees into the Women in Poker Hall of Fame. So, Jan Fisher was inducted in 2009. In 1977, when she moved to Las Vegas to become a poker dealer, she um, she also that I'm sorry, I read that. Let me start this over. In 1977, Jan Fisher moved to Las Vegas to become a poker dealer. She is a partner in Card Player Cruises and also a co founder of the Tournament Directors Association. Jan wrote the Poker 101 column for a card player. Jan was a statistician for the WPT and an instructor for the WPT boot camp. She too was involved with getting the Poker Give charity off the ground with Linda Johnson, Mike Sexton, and others. She does not have any bracelets to date. And if you've never been around Jan Fisher, you're missing out. She is a great MC when there are events going on. She is a great storyteller, old school poker. Ask her any questions, she will answer them for sure. Jan Fisher inducted in 2009 into the Women in Poker Hall of Fame. Next on the list is Cindy Violette. Cindy is from Queens, and she won her first bracelet in 2004 for winning the 2K buy-in 7-card stud high-low tournament. She lost a heads-up battle to Eric Siddell in 2005 in the 2K no limit tournament, and that was the last time she was so close to winning her second bracelet. So it was the very next year after she won her first. Also inducted to the class of 2009 was June Field. She won the 1982 $400 ladies event, which was a limit 7-card stud event. Unfortunately, this was the only thing I could find out about this bracelet winner. Sometimes it's just hard to find facts, especially for some of our older players. And that was the same way with just the WSOP Hall of Fame. Same thing. There were a couple of folks I couldn't find any facts on, and it's really kind of sad because we want to know our Hall of Famers, right? But that is your class of 2009. Again, Jan Fisher, Cindy Violette, and June Field into the Women's in Poker Hall of Fame class of 2009. Go ahead, Isaac.
I'm starting to notice I hear a lot about the ladies just being really good at mixed games.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. The women definitely love. There's a big faction of females that play mixed games.
Yeah,
Yeah, as a matter of fact, they keep dragging me. Come on, come on, come on. And honestly, when I dive into something, I dive all the way in, and I just don't have the time to like dive in. I keep promising Robert Turner I'm going to play Omaha, right? And he was so happy when I played that tournament online by mistake. I was like, it was a mistake. He's like, it's okay. At least you still played it and didn't just like, blind out, which was kind of funny conversation. But anyway, here we are.
I hear you. I hear you. The one person that I know that he's probably the only person I know that he's a pro at Badoogie and Big O. He's actually the reason that I learned Big O because he has his own kind of like NFT project,
Right.
poker centric, and in his server you pretty much play Big O, PLO5 bomb pot, or PLO5 double board, which I'm like, whoa. I've played them all now, And let me tell you, they're fun, Sherry. I think you'll enjoy
Well,
it.
and I'm going to tell you that not last year, but I think it was the year before. I actually put out a tweet saying, "Who wants to learn um, some of these other games?" And I actually got I set it up at a friend's house who has a poker room in Vegas, allegedly, and got a dealer. And we went there and sat at a table and we played those games. They taught us those games. And I'm going to tell you what game I really liked was Raz. And a lot of people don't like Raz, but I liked
I
Raz.
want to learn Raz. That's actually on my list. Raz is the one that I really want to learn because of playing horse. I
Right.
want to enter a horse tournament eventually.
Right. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to learn Raz. But Raz and Omaha are probably on my priority list just because that day I really did enjoy Raz. And I'm going to tell you, if you ask me today, what, like, how do you play Raz? I have no, I don't remember because I only did it that day. Right. And, so I don't know if there's any online with ACR or any other server that I could play Raz to just play. I rather just play it to learn it as well. So that way, when I go to a video to watch and I have can like meet those two worlds and have maybe a better understanding. Because sometimes when I watch a video, I'm like, what the hell are they even saying? Like, what? So anyway,
I hear you.
uh,
I hear you. I think Kessler will be the one to ask because he has something that they do online. They have like a mixed game server or something like that.
they do.
Yeah, and he's definitely the guy for that.
And I
Yeah.
noticed, go
Oh, I'm
ahead,
sorry.
Kim.
Well, I was just going to say, yeah, I definitely know about the Kessler Mix Games League. We actually have a free one, but it's very small through the Pocket Queens, which I can't do the time that they do it on. I think they do it Tuesday nights. But Poker Stars is where I've practiced some mixed games before.
Oh, good to
They
know.
have tons. They have ton. I don't know if they have Raz, but they have like everything. Just everything I was trying to learn at the time. So that's a good place to do it for free.
Good to know. And that's what I want. I just want reps to get the game into my head, right? You got to get not muscle memory but brain memory of how to play the games and order of play and who's betting
Absolutely.
what and who's bringing in or whatever the hell they call it all and the lingo and all that stuff. But I'm going to move along cuz this guy may need to get to his desk in a hurry. So Shaun McCormack, welcome bud.
Good morning, everyone. I am standing outside the lovely, iconic, and historic Bellagio Poker Room. I heard it's the official stuff of the next official meetup game sometime in the future here. I'm sure everybody knows the dates. Let me make sure I get all these right. I was taking mental notes here as I'm walking the casino floor. Karen beat me to it. 100% Poker Stars free games is the best place to learn like mix. Get your friends in there or play against randoms from around the world. Hell, you can play with your friends and everybody throws in $5 just so it means something and actually play right and stuff like. It doesn't take much for us poker players to play right. A dollar could, even just bragging rights. All right. Secondly, stop saying allegedly about home games. Home games are legal everywhere in the United States. You don't have to say allegedly unless you're taking a rake. And if you are, you shouldn't be talking about them at all. No one needs to go to pound me in the ass federal prison for taking the rake because that's what they'll send you. Thirdly, let me see here. Yes, women in mixed games. Women in mix actually have a higher clip of showing up than women in no limit hold'em. Of course, more women around the world play no limit hold'em because it's the most popular game, but the percentage and diversity in mix is actually much higher. And I think this is twofold. One, women think differently than men. So in games that have a lot of strategy, which mix do, a lot of layers, kind of like chess versus checkers. Not that no limit hold'em is checkers. I'm not saying that. I have not solved the game like a lot of the geniuses out there. I'm still a terrible no limit hold'em player, but I think there's a reason for that. Plus, mix is limit, which lets you protect your stack and stay with structured betting, which sometimes is not, I don't want to say more comfortable for women, but they, again, have better strategies than men because men just play like we play our stack like it's always all in. So I honestly believe women are better at mix at the end of the day, and that's why you see such high level mix play from some very notable women. You don't have to say the Jennifer Harmons of the world. You can just go to the Jeannie Davids of the world and stuff like that. Like, women are brilliant at mix. I always worry about them when I play. And what was the? Oh, yes, barbecue. I did remember. Lucille's or Rolling Smoke. All right, back to you guys.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing. And the meetup game at the Bellagio Poker Room is June the 21st at 1 p.m. And there's going to be free pizza and all kind of splash the pot items, including a international poker package to Malta Poker Festival. So be there or be square. Let me know if you're coming. Let me know if you're even a maybe. We don't mind if you change your mind either way at the last minute. We know that's the nature of the beast, but I just kind of like to have round numbers. Um, for the folks that are coming, I want to give a little shout out to Jeff with 2 F's. He is going to send us some hats, or he's actually going to bring them because he's going to come to the game after I talk to his girl about coming to the game and she gives him permission, you know. But go ahead, Shaun.
Oh, I just had a question. This seems like a great group to ask. Is there a new thing at World Series this year where they're allowing players, since you're signed up in the app, to to basically avoid the big blind and come in behind? Like, do you guys know? Like, you guys might be surprised which side of the fence I'm on about this, but is that what they're doing now?
Yeah, we actually discussed this a little bit earlier. You weren't here yet, but yes. So, um, if you are signed up in the app, your chips are not into play until you check in to the tournament at the table with the dealer and the dealer's iPad. And so what players are doing is walking up to the table, seeing they're in the blinds or about to be in the blinds, and they are not signing into the table until the blinds pass them by.
Okay, I have
And
an opinion on this.
well, and I'm going to tell you we also talked about Shaun Deeb made a tweet about a
I
guy that,
saw it. Yeah, it's not a good tweet.
yeah,
He shouldn't do
not,
that. He should
yeah,
know
it's not,
better at this point. He's
yeah,
a veteran. He should know better.
not a good
Um,
look. But go ahead,
not a
give
good
us
look.
our opinion.
So obviously, like, I've been around a little bit of tournaments in my career, and we definitely have a different way of looking at tournaments, especially having brilliant minds like Paul Campbell working for us. Like, just the way we do redraws, the way we do new entries. Like, there are so many tournaments in the world now that do what Paul's doing. It's incredible, especially high roller series and stuff like that. Like, if you come in as a new player, you get randomly drawn to every single seat, not available seat. Like, everybody's in there. It's a really cool system. Which one day when we digitize, it'll be really, really smooth for everybody, because obviously in an environment of 100 people is very different than 10,000. But here's my opinion on this new thing, especially working with an app. I get what they're doing. They're saying you're not technically checked in. You're just registered. There's like another layer, because we haven't handed you your chips yet. I know this is a recorded space. This might come to a surprise to everybody. I love it. I love it, and I'll tell you why. And I know the old school heads are going to hate it. They're going to hate it. Even the TDs are going to hate it. The old school TD heads are going to hate it. I guess I'm kind of an old school head now too. But the reason why I love it is it's 100% the same for every single player, whether you're a novice player or you're a seasoned veteran. You get to come in when you want. If you're avoiding the blind, whatever, there's a disadvantage to playing less hands too, guys. But at least with this, it's 100% going to be done right, because it's done by the player and not the house trying to enforce something arbitrary where they go, oh, I think he missed the blind on purpose. What if he really didn't know where table blue 151 was? Like, it's just not that easy, especially in a room that large. So again, I know a lot of the old heads and maybe even people in here are going to go, are you serious, Shaun? That's fine. I'm okay to deal with this type of heat. It wouldn't be the first time in my career, but I think it's good because, again, it puts the control in the player's hands, and it doesn't make a room with 20 TDs and 10,000 tables go, oh, did he skip the blind? It's just not trackable. It's not
Well, and
realistic to
I'm
try
going
to
to
get,
tell you.
and one last thing, holding the
Okay.
onus on the player to do the right thing in a zero-sum game where we're all trying to make the most amount of money is absurd. I don't care if it's Alan Kessler. I don't care if it's any people. Alan, if Alan is in defense of this, I would look at Alan and say, if somebody left an Ultimate X machine with all the multipliers up, would you do the right thing and walk away? Or would you stick your $100 bill in it? Of course, you're taking the hard EV line every single time. Poker is about edge. And if
And
it's
let's
built
not
into the
forget.
rule to skate this edge, then it's on us as operators to fix it, not on the players. You can't expect 20,000 people to do the right thing. Make the rules so that they get to do the right thing every single time. All right, I'm done.
Well, let's not forget that Alan Kessler was being called out for this very thing not too long ago. So there's that. And second of all, you just jogged my own memory on this very topic that I didn't think about. I love your point of view about what you first stated, and it jogged my memory of me last year going through the line, paying for my registration into the ladies' event, and when I got to the ladies' event, my stack was short. And I had missed a big blind. And I said, how could I miss a big blind? I literally just paid for my registration. Here on my ticket is the time. And I think it took me like 3 or 4 minutes, I can't remember, to walk over to from Paris over to the horseshoe to the ballroom to get in my seat. And they blinded me off. And I said, wait a minute, I literally just bought in 4 minutes ago, or however many minutes it was. How can I be blinded off? I needed time to walk here. I said, and the dealer's like, oh, I don't know. I said, well, I need the TD then because you should be blinding me off when I just bought in. Like, I need time to get here. And so I think, yeah, thinking about it that way, yeah. If I wasn't put into the game until I actually arrived at the game, wow, there's a novel idea, right?
100%. And I'll say something kind of like tongue in cheek, but also kind of funny. Do you really want TDs, especially like traveling? Like, I don't work all year as a TD, making a read on someone, whether they actually
No,
purposely skipped it. Come
no.
on, I always tell people this. The first line in my book, my inevitable book that will come out one day is those who can play poker, those who can't run card rooms. You don't want us bad poker players making reads on poker players doing the right thing. It's just goofy.
Well, and that reminds me of what was that big spot at the WSOP that they ruled that, oh, he had already put this many blinds in. What's the difference? That it was like five more, and the TD was making a judgment on what the person was thinking at the time or not thinking at the time.
Now, you cannot call out Jack Effel. Come on now, that was his ruling.
I
Hey,
didn't.
Sherry,
You did.
if you're calling 19 million, if you're calling 19 million, you're calling 23 million. That's all.
That's correct. That's the line. And by the way, I didn't call him out. You did.
Yeah, I got to put that one on a T-shirt and walk through the horseshoe with a T-shirt that just says with Jack with a little thought bubble that says if you're calling 19, you're calling 23. And I'm gonna get him to sign this thing. Oh my god, he's gonna kick me out, but it'll be funny.
That's hilarious. Let me be there for that so I could. Oh, sorry, I muted everybody. Fat fingers. Yeah, let me be there so I could take pictures of his face when he sees that. And speaking of t-shirts, kudos to Dana. She's going to ship me that old Alan Kessler t-shirt so I can include it on my poker t-shirt quilts. I'm going to be making probably two of them if I can get a few more t-shirts, one for myself and probably one to raffle off. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it, but I thought it would be kind of fun to maybe raffle one off for charity, or I don't know. We'll figure it out. So thank you, Dana, for offering to send me that t-shirt for the quilts. Go ahead, Shaun.
And one more thing, and this is directed right at you, Sherry. I'm looking right
Yes.
at you right now. When you
Yes.
tell people you're getting free pizzas at Bellagio, you have to tell them it's limited. I can't buy 150 pizzas. You just keep saying free pizzas to anybody that shows up, and I'm like, wait. We got to put a limited time offer, an
All right.
hour, what
Free
something on.
pizzas until they're out.
While
They're free.
supplies last,
No,
y'all.
no, no.
While
Don't say it until
supplies last.
Bellagio's. Don't say it until Bellagio's. I will never run out of pizza. I'll run out of comp privileges before we run out of pizza.
All right. So until our allotment runs out. How about that?
I'll tell you this. I will commit to more pizzas than I did last year.
Well, we love you for that. We love you for whatever you're willing to do for us. We are beggars cannot be choosers. So there you go. We appreciate you.
And if PPE shows up, unlimited pizza for him only.
I love it. I'm going to DM him that. Shaun said, if you show up, it's unlimited pizza for you, dude. We are definitely going to make sure he hears that.
So the question of the day is then, will PPE do the right thing and eat his 4 slices, or will he do the positive EV thing and order pizzas for everybody because it's unlimited? These are poker players. We can do this with any facet of life, guys. This is why I say I'm defending that the change in the rule. And I don't always agree with what WSOP does. Trust me, we always fight because it's WSOP rules. Sometimes it's TDA rules. Sometimes it's the rest of us rules and stuff like that. But I actually think they got this one right. And I know a lot of the old heads are going to just be like, no, they have to go directly to their seat. I'm like, why? If they had bought it 5 minutes later, they would have showed up 5 minutes later. Like, it's not. You're not playing until you're playing. I don't know. I think this whole dodging thing is an old ism from back when we had
Yeah,
20 tables and we could literally go, you're at table 17 and point to it. Like, it's just
right.
impossible. I walk over to the World Series now, I get lost and I work in poker. You know what I mean? Blue
And it's
15.
not
And
a
it's just like,
short it's definitely
no.
not a short distance away. It's
And
it's a it's a good hike.
And given the amount of new people that show up every year to try to grow the game over there, that's why we all appreciate what the World Series does. They're the ones that continually grow the game every year. So they're doing what's right for the people they're growing the game for.
But
Like,
the
remember, guys,
but the con-
like, we always lose our focus on the fact that we make money off of the people, and I say we, I'm throwing myself in as a poker player right now, but we make money off of the people that keep the games going. You don't want to show up at a table full of crushers and wizards. That's like, poker doesn't last that way. We need those weekend warriors. We need those people to show up and grow the game. And we need those people to go home and tell their friends, hey, I had a great experience at the World Series of Poker. I was able to just walk up to my table. But otherwise, we have, I don't remember who it was, was it Juan Lu that
I
posted
was about to
a
say
really terrible experience?
but the
Yeah, you
It's
con-
up
don't
in
want
the
that going
Yep.
home.
but the
That's
confusion
horrible.
is new registrants versus moving tables. What Juan happened with Juan's friend was in regards to moving tables, not being a new registrant.
It was
Okay, that's
both.
that's 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 information we need, of course, and
No,
that's
it was
different.
both. It was both, you guys. If you read it, it was both. She got to the table. Um,
Yeah,
what
she got to
floor?
the table as being moved to that table, and that's why she got the penalty initially, is because she was moved from another table to that table, and then she was assessed the penalty because you can't dodge the blinds once you're in the tournament when you've been moved tables.
Oh, I didn't read it like that. I thought she was new to the table, like new to the tournament for the first penalty, and then they moved while she was on penalty to a new table, and then she got penalized again.
I read it that way too because she talked about how she hadn't even played yet when she got these two different penalties and hadn't even played yet. So I think she was new. I interpreted it she was new and then they moved while she was taking her punishment
Right.
out of
That's how
sight.
I took it.
Yeah.
Because I thought you don't get chips until you're at your like. How are you getting chips then? What is the process now for getting chips?
Shit, I don't know.
Yeah, that's interesting because before, just like ASG said, they'll give you your chip stack when you arrive at the table. They put
Yeah,
the chips in front of you, right?
that's a good point. Yeah.
Well, here's what it says. She got her chips and walked directly to her table. When she got there, the dealer was mid pitch, so she thought she was doing the polite thing by standing behind the table waiting for the deal to finish. She had no idea whether she would have sat in the big blind or not. The floor who was close by thought she was dodging her big blind and issued her a 1 round penalty before she even put her rack down. Then they yelled at her to take the penalty behind the ropes far away from her table. She waited about 20 minutes and eventually had the courage to ask another floor if her penalty was over, since she didn't know how she could keep track from so far away. Apparently, her table broke and they didn't bother telling her. When she got to her new table, they claimed she hadn't set out a whole round yet, so they estimated how many more hands that would entail and made her wait even longer. She ended up paying 2 orbits of big blinds before she could ever play a hand. So I take that as she was a new player, got penalized, then she got moved to a new table without knowing it, got penalized at the new table too. That's how I took it. I don't know.
So I know it the circuits, I don't know what they're doing at World Series of Poker, but at the circuits in Cherokee, for example, if you late reg, then you actually do get your chips. You go to that special table, Sherry, up front.
Yeah, and
And
that's how they used to do it at the WSOP,
right.
but the app was supposed to like help make that not happen. But I
Oh,
don't
okay.
know, maybe it was because it was so early in the WSOP and the app and all that they were still doing both. I don't know. I honestly don't know.
The truth is always in the middle.
Exactly. But that there's nothing wrong with that. It's not against the rules. So why was she penalized? Is another question to ask.
Yeah, they got
Why
it.
was she penalized?
I'm
Right?
like, well, she should be penalized if she was moving tables, but like, yeah, because I thought that's how you would know if you were moving tables versus regs if you didn't have chips yet. But I don't know now if you do still get chips at a late reg table, and then you just have to tell people, oh no, I'm actually a new player, not moving tables. This is getting crazy.
She did nothing wrong.
I think there's like a lot of gray area that we don't know as the reader. And but I also think that the original Twitter, um, was trying to bring it across that, hey, what is the rule? It's confusing. So are we going by that rule or aren't we? So I don't know. There's a lot of gray here right now.
Yeah, and at the very least, like they shouldn't push them away so far away that they don't know when their penalty's over.
Well, but what comes to my mind when I read that as well is, did she stay there the whole time, or did she go to the bathroom, go get a drink, and then come back? And you know what I mean? Like, did she stand there the whole time? I don't know. Because if you're standing there the whole time, even though you can't see what's happening at the table, when your table breaks and gets up and walks away, you surely should see that. So I don't know. Hey, Brandon,
Hi, Sherry. What's up?
how are you?
Good. Good.
Good, good, good. Glad you could join us, bud.
Got to defend her. She did nothing wrong. You guys leave her alone.
Oh, goodness gracious, this guy. We don't disagree with you, but we also don't think we have all the facts, or at least I don't. Um, they got to figure it out. But if we're going to go by that rule, then we got to go by that rule for everybody, right?
She's never done anything wrong. That's for sure.
Oh, God, because she's Korean.
I'm just kidding.
And you've got the hots for Koreans? What? What are we talking about here? Now, let's get to the nitty gritty. He
Allegedly.
dates a Korean, you guys. That's why I
Allegedly.
said that.
No,
So,
Vietnamese. But
oh, I thought she was Korean. My mistake.
no,
Sorry.
that's okay. But yeah, allegedly, maybe.
Hey, John Roberts, welcome to the panel. John
What's
Robertson.
up? Have we already discussed that story appears to be a new player and like she wasn't even sure what to do? Have we discussed that part yet?
Yeah,
I
tell
just,
us.
well, no, I think that's, knowing what it's like in a new situation and how intimidating just going in the poker room can be for her to get told she's got a penalty and she doesn't even know what she did wrong. And then like that whole situation just is gross to me. I don't like, I mean, obviously it happens when there's lots of confusion and disorganization, but like that's just like I would hate that to be somebody I know being their first time at the World Series of Poker.
Right. And what a do you think, and like, what's it going to take to get her to come back? Honestly, I mean, this is things that we all need to think about because we want the chairs filled. And, what a horrible first experience. Like, come on.
Well, and that's probably, I mean, I don't, what was it, a $1,500 event? Is that, I don't remember what the price was, but for a
Yeah, I
lot of
don't
people,
remember.
that's not an insignificant amount of money for a poker tournament. So you spend all that money just to have a horrible, horrible experience.
Maybe Dana can come back up here because I was thinking Dana was saying This is an LA player that Dana is familiar with that plays on HCL. So she's, I don't think, a brand new player to poker, but she
Oh,
was new to the WSOP, I think.
well, that makes more sense. It just seemed like the way it read in the tweets seemed like it was a new player who hadn't played very many tournaments.
Go ahead,
So,
Dana.
I missed. You said maybe Dana was saying
Were you saying that this young lady that got penalized is a LA player that's played on HCL?
her home base is in the Northwest, I believe. But yeah, she's played on HCL quite a few times actually.
Okay, so she's not a new player, you guys. So
well,
she
that
may
and the
not
money
be a
Well,
probably.
she's
tournament. She's not
she's
a
new to
tournament
tournaments,
player, but we can't treat her like she's a brand new player to poker either, right?
right? She's a cash player,
Yeah. So,
and
but
she is very timid. I mean, she she plays aggressive, but her, like as far as like her personality sitting down at the table and stuff, she seems very timid and
but
but
she
once she
but
gets
she,
fired up, she
there you go.
participates. But
There you go. And she's in the poker world, so she knows that it's not always roses and flowers, right? That got to stick up for yourself and be strong, and sometimes that's hard to do, for sure. But at the same token, if she was a brand spanking new poker player, totally different from in my eyes.
I do think that's an area that, in general, dealers, I love the dealers and the staff, but, sometimes I do think that their social skills could be better, with dealing with the public. When I was brand new to tournaments and poker, I had done two nightlies in Cherokee. That was it. And then I jumped in the WPT ladies. Okay, so it was a big difference between a nightly and that. But
All right.
I flew out there and it was an adventure. But yeah, I still remember like it was yesterday, a dealer, I didn't know the rules about like, if you verbalize something over, action, it's a call, I didn't know about any of those nuances. And I remember, I can't remember the exact specifics, but I think had already said call. And I said, well, never mind, I'll just go all in. I was brand new. And he yelled at me. And, it sticks with you. It's embarrassing too, because I was brand new. And he yelled at me and said, no, you won't be doing that. You will be doing this. And I just calmly looked at him and I said, you don't yell at me. I'm brand new to poker.
That a
And I
girl.
just shut him the fuck down. What do you say? You got an older woman looking at you, say, don't you yell at me. I'm brand new to poker. Well, he shut the fuck up. That's what he did.
Let's go, Karen.
But did you call him a prick?
No, I remained ladylike. My mom, R.I.P. would appreciate that. She never liked my potty mouth.
For those that don't know, Karen was. There's a very famous recording of her calling somebody that word, so that's why I said it, just to kind of poke at her.
Well, it
Um,
wasn't prick, it was pussy. Excuse me.
oh,
Recording.
sorry, wrong anatomy.
Frank. It was. We'll just go ahead and out it. Frank. He loved it. He loves being called the P word. I made his day. He pinned it. He pinned it in his Twitter.
Oh
Well,
God, that's so
I think
funny.
that does bring up a point though that like I played cash games for years before I ever entered my first World Series of Poker tournament, and even then I'd played tournaments. But playing my first WSOP was intimidating to me, and I've been in the poker world for years, so it's just something to keep in mind.
Absolutely. And there's so much you're trying to take in. Where do I go to get this? What do I do now? Where's dinner? Where am I going to get dinner? When is dinner? How long is dinner? I mean, it's so overwhelming.
Well, and that room is it's two giant rooms. Like just finding your table is stressful. Like I think the World Series of Poker, everybody wants to go there and play, and it's great, and we love it. But like if it's your first time, it is intimidating, even if you've played for years. Like I think.
Absolutely. Oh, I totally agree. Um, I totally agree. It's a whole experience that I want everybody to have, but we also have to be aware that people are nervous, people are they are apprehensive. they're trying to stumble their way through it, right? And those of us that have been around need to be conscientious of that and help others. And it's really a shame that this young lady had such a terrible experience. Honestly, it's disappointing.
Yeah.
Get
I
like
have I just added a comment inviting both Wei and Schwan to the conversation. Why not?
Awesome.
So even if they don't, there is just a social etiquette, and we're all a bag of nerves when we're sitting at the table anyway, regardless of the venue. But the point that got me in Schwann's recap was that they started yelling.
Absolutely.
And it's not just the dealers, but it's it's the players. We do have to have a little bit of empathy in the situation. That's all.
Well, and nobody should be yelling at anybody, right? I don't care what the situation is, whether you're an employee or a player, nobody should be yelling at anybody. I mean, unless I'm calling, if I'm playing with John or Isaac or ASG, or I see Bobby's come in and joined us, and I might, because I know them personally, you asshole, what are you doing that for? That's different than you asshole, right? So there's just no place for it. There just is no place for it. It takes the fun right out of the room. And yeah, here we are.
but
Sherry, that reminds me of a hilarious story. My brother and I were playing in Tunica in like 2005, 2006. And like my brother loses a hand and he's saying, like, well, son of a bitch to himself that he lost. And the guy thought he was calling him a son of a bitch. And like it all started this whole fight in the room. He's like, it was hilarious.
And
Because he
that's
wasn't,
how it all started.
oh yeah, like he wasn't even calling the other guy anything. He was just saying, well, you know. But yeah, it was hilarious. I was laughing. I was at the table like two over, just laughing my ass off.
Like a good brother should.
Yeah. Meanwhile, certain other famous players, not to name any names, can talk about, can say they're talking to themselves about, those stupid Euro players that everybody knows who they're talking about when they are talking to themselves and don't get penalized for it.
Honey, can you believe he called me with that, honey? He's just trying to give me his chips. He's just trying to give his chips away, honey. Did you see that hand, honey? I can't believe it. You mean those kind of guys? Those kind of guys?
Yeah. Oh, almost exactly like it. These stupid Euros. These idiots from Northern
Oh,
Europe.
imagine that guy not getting a penalty. I
Yeah,
wonder
these
why.
idiots from Northern Europe.
oh God.
Wait, wait, are we submitting our complaints for certain types of poker players? I'm here. What are we talking about? I'm back. Okay, I'll only say this. I'm not going to pick on anybody directly, but can we stop doing this one at the table, especially by pros? My God, when someone beats you in a pot, especially if they're a novice, a rec, or something like that, looking across the table like, man, if you had played that better, you'd have got more money out of me. That might be the dumbest comment in the history of poker. Can people stop? Oh, so you wanted me to play better, so I would have fleeced you? But just shut up.
Okay, along those lines, if somebody, including me, says trips instead of a set or set instead of trips, don't fucking correct them. It doesn't matter if it's a set or trips. Fuck. Doesn't
Three
matter.
cards are the same value no matter what.
Exactly. You're
Sherry,
just trying to be a peacock and
just
stroke your own ego. Shut the fuck up
Okay,
about it.
I'll stop.
just do what I do, Sherry. It really pisses them off. Don't call it a set or trip. Just call it three of a kind. That's what I do.
That's what I do. That's what I do.
Because it's right
Exactly.
every time. It literally
Yes,
is right
three
for
of a
both of
kind
them.
is right every time.
But it pisses poker players off. It just, what do you mean three of a kind? I'm like, I have three of a kind aces, and it just drives them nuts.
No, I do that. If somebody calls somebody out for that at my table, I do exactly that. I start calling it, oh, he's got three of a kind. And then they all turn and look at me and I just smile.
No,
Man, if somebody tells me something about sets or trips, I'm gonna start set
yeah,
tripping.
I'm that guy. If
Stop.
somebody says I had a set when they really meant trips, I'm like, if you had a set, you would have had a boat and you would have won.
Stop.
I am not shocked that that's
Stop.
ASG's lane. I'm not shocked at
Stop.
all, buddy.
ASG, don't be that guy. It doesn't matter. You're just trying to prove you're smart. Stop.
I
ASG,
always,
do you correct somebody's pronunciation of words?
Depends on the word.
I'm an English teacher and I don't even do that at the poker table.
Thank you. Thank you.
I was about to say it doesn't
Oh,
really come up in poker, but like, yeah,
No, I just mean in general. It's the same type of thing of like, when do you correct something that's inaccurate? I was just
John,
curious.
John, I have a question then. Do you pronounce the T in often?
I do.
oh, I
Yes,
remember I
I
got my
do.
second. Yeah, I got
It actually,
that right on my second grade spelling test because somebody tried to correct the teacher for pronouncing the T
I
or not
actually,
pronouncing it.
that's the one. It actually hurt me to say the T there. I'm not. I'm team. Don't pronounce the T. I say often, but I don't give a shit.
Oh yeah,
Well,
I'm team.
yeah,
Don't pronounce the T too.
I'm just going to go on the record as saying like English has evolved over hundreds of years and like lots of people, it's constantly changing. So let people say whatever they want as long as it's not completely ridiculously
man,
wrong.
you're old. Hundreds of years. Shit, you're old, dude. Hey,
But
Bobby,
what?
what's up?
Yeah, the language has evolved, but sadly, the people speaking it haven't. It's gotten worse and worse over the years. People have gotten dumber and dumber. Hey, Robertson, what do you think of your girl Caitlin getting hurt, huh? Got about 8 people a night watching that fucking terrible league of yours now.
That's all right. I still watch it. Lexi's my favorite player.
Which proves the point that Caitlin is making the league, nobody else.
Well,
You're
yeah,
my boy, John. I just had to say that.
no, it's all good. Like it's actually been entertaining to watch like the people crash out on it and stop watching. And it's like, there's still other games and I mean, obviously the Fever don't look nearly as good or smooth. Luckily we have the Pacers to watch right now. But I think Caitlin's gonna be out for another 2 weeks. I think that's what she's gonna have a press conference and have to say it's gonna take 2 more weeks, but we'll see what happens.
I hate it for her. I really do. I didn't mean to say a smiley emoji. I hate it for her, honestly.
Oh, you're good. Yeah. I mean, but that's the thing, like people have to appreciate.
Uh-oh, John, we lost you, bud.
Joke's on you. He gets to watch Lexi Hall and Sophie Cunningham every night, so joke's on you, actually.
That was God intervening. People have to appreciate nothing about the WNBA. It's boring basketball.
I love the
That's so
WNBA.
savage.
John, you cut out. I don't know if you're driving or
Oh,
are you there, bud?
yeah, my wife's driving. We're headed to the bank. I gotta pay for these.
You cut out, buddy. You're paying for something. You're going to the bank with the wife. Tell her I said hello.
I'm gonna like I might hit a dead zone in a second. I don't know.
Yeah,
Okay.
start with the phone bill if you're going to pay.
Dana, were you going to say something, honey?
Oh, I the wife is driving, so there's a woman driving joke there somewhere.
This is
No,
true.
yeah, she's a great driver. She drove through downtown Indy yesterday, and it was a complete gridlock. So I let my wife drive whenever she wants. She's great.
John might be
Oh
on the
yeah,
Sean
no.
McCormack Boost Mobile plan.
Thank you. I
Oh
was
my
waiting for the
gosh.
Boost Mobile joke. I was getting like pissed here that I'm the only one that catches these. Thank you, Brent. I appreciate it.
Listen, I have good cell service, but we're in the middle of nowhere, Indiana. Like I'm literally between a cornfield and a bean field right now.
He's not lying either. But tell that wifey I said hello.
Siri says hello.
I mean, isn't the entire state of Indiana pretty much middle of nowhere?
It's definitely all cornfields.
Yo, Iowa is nothing but fucking cornfield.
Oh God,
Yes, this
yes,
is
Facts.
right.
true too.
That
Hi,
shit,
Sean.
that shit. I felt like I was on shrooms because like it was just never ending fucking cornfields, y'all. I thought the children of the corn were gonna pop out at some
Well,
point.
because you probably were on insurance. Now, come on. That's the truth of
Well,
it.
I mean,
Hello, Bobby.
probably, but I digress.
Oh, shit. I love it so much.
All right, I got to take off and do time to make the donuts. You crazy kids have fun at the table. I'll leave you with this. I hope you sold your Tesla stock yesterday. And tonight at Aria Poker, Tony Burns, if you're a Tony Burns fan, we scooped him up. He's on our roster for the summer. He is making his debut first night as the night TD. I think he's nights. I would assume Paul's in the day, he's at nights, but I don't know. I think that's right. But go check him out at Aria Poker. Obviously, somebody that loves the game just as much as we do, not more. Tony Burns is a great friend of mine, and I'm actually going to go have lunch with him here in a couple minutes. But
you tell him I said hello.
and Sherry, I will definitely try to make it by John's celebration. Um, I won't steal his thunder saying that it's also my birthday, but it's also Father's Day too. So it's a big day for everybody. But
It is, but do me a favor. Would you do me a favor? Because I will not be in town because it's my granddaughter's birthday party, 1-year-old birthday party. So I am missing it as well. But if you go and they have any kind of pamphlet or program, would you please pick one up for me?
you got it. Yeah, I'm putting it on my calendar right now. I'm going to go. I'm sure somebody else will be there. I'll grab one for you too. But I'm sure I'll remember. If not, just message me like
Okay.
around then or sometime between now and then when I speak to you. God, that's in 10 days. June is already, I mean, it's only the 5th, but it's already starting to fly by for us. But yeah,
Yeah, I
I
am
definitely
starting to
will. And
panic.
it's actually pretty convenient over that. Never mind. I can get there. I'll get there on Sunday. It's at what, like 11 o'clock? I'm
What's it say on that flyer, you guys? Hold
yeah,
on.
11 o'clock. I got it. But yeah, I'll
There you
put it
go.
at the tap house. Cool. And I'll retweet that out like the day before to get more people involved and stuff.
Yeah, I'll
Cool.
definitely be retweeting it several times between now and then for sure. But if you could pick me up one of the programs, if they have them, I would appreciate it.
You got it. I know you and John are good friends. All right, guys.
Yeah.
Have a great one. Hey, Fats. I just see Fats got in there. I don't think he's up on the panel, but who knows with this
Yeah,
crazy
he is.
Elon glitching. Everybody looks like a listener to me. I don't know.
Yeah,
Who
same here.
knows? But shout out to Fats. I hope everything's going well. I know you're going through some things right now, so my heart and my family's thoughts are with you, buddy. But and fuck insurance companies. I think that was something you're dealing with. But all right, guys, love you all. Love poker. We'll see you guys at the tables, and obviously come by the meetup game. I will be there eating pizza as well, but I can't play.
Is
But we'll have
somebody
fun. All
talking?
right, guys.
We'll have some fun for sure, Sean. Thank
I
you.
love that
Love you
Fats was
too.
like, "Is somebody talking?" When I just said all of that about him. Tell him what I said. Love you
Yeah,
guys. Bye.
yeah. Access glitch or whatever you might need to.
Thanks, Sean. Okay. Oh, he
Just
went.
some weasel Fats. I wouldn't worry about it too much.
Um.
Hey, shout out to Fats though. Last night, him and Barry were just going in on fucking Greg. Like Greg kept being told to shut the fuck up. It was so good last night.
Oh, I missed it. I love when they go off on him and
It
his
was just when
stupidity.
you left, I think, because
Damn
I
it.
went there because you were there, right? I got the alert. I
Right.
showed up and you weren't there, and then yeah, Kessler comes up, and
Damn it.
and
I
Barry
fell
was
asleep.
on last night. Let me tell you, when Barry is on, Barry is fucking on, yo. This shit was so good. He was
And
snapping
Fats
at
was
Kessler.
trolling that.
Listen, he snapped at Kessler. He snapped at fucking. It was so good.
Fats was trolling the hell out of Kessler too.
Oh man,
If
listen.
you make a final table, would you be more worried about trying to win the bracelet
Oh
or going
man,
to get your $150 free
I
play?
was
Like,
fucking dying, bro.
dude,
Like,
I was dying laughing,
listen,
man.
like,
He
yo,
he
and then
got his
everyone
ass.
just saying, "Shut the fuck up, Greg! Shut the fuck up, Greg!" I couldn't do it because I was in a quiet place, but that shit was so.
Isaac had FOMO for not being able to say shut the
Listen,
fuck
I
up
Yeah,
wanted
to
to,
dude.
Greg.
yo, I always want to tell Greg to shut the fuck up. So that's awesome,
Isaac, for real, you did sound like you were on a different planet for a
bro.
little bit
You know
there.
what? Listen, the homie, he knew I needed a drop shipment. Drop me this fire ass diamond vape cart. I was fried out my brains, but in the moment Barry, because Barry's really chill, right? Barry's always like, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he's getting like real enunciated, and then he starts talking shit to Kessler because Kessler was trying to tell him he had a worse bad beat than him. Oh, bro, it was so.
Oh yeah. If you think Barry's chill, you have not
I
been a
was thinking,
regular in his home games. Um,
you.
No, I haven't been. I haven't been. I know Barry from
no, I
Spaces.
mean
So
like in New York when he's actually at the games,
right. When he's being the king of
when
fucking
he's
the
like
underground.
ripping cards in half and lighting them on fire and whatever.
What? For real?
I guess I missed that broadcast too.
I don't think that's a broadcast. That's just like what happens at these games. He might have a picture of when he lit cards on fire, but yeah, he's
Oh, that's
there's a reason
hilarious.
why he's the host. It's so they can't kick him out.
I love it.
Hey
All right,
guys. Oh,
Fats. Go ahead, Fats. I'm going to let him have a chance, you guys. His hand's been up for a minute. Sorry, John.
A couple things. After I'm done, though, sorry I got in here late. Could you repeat the entire poker schedule for the day? A little later.
Yeah, I'll be happy to on the replay. So just press the replay button.
Oh, all right. By the way,
Just for
my
the
favorite.
record, Fats doesn't like that we do the schedule every day, but that's too bad because there are people that do. So there you go. Go ahead,
Well,
Fats. What
only
else you
only
got?
because only because I'm here in Michigan and I can't get there to these places.
I
But
know we all have FOMO about it. Believe
my,
me, we do.
my favorite question that I asked Kessler last night was I asked him how many people he's berated at the poker table that have gone on to win a World Series of Poker bracelet.
He said
And
two.
and to my shock, the answer was two.
That was
Yo,
hilarious. Oh my
listen,
god, man.
Fats, you too, man. Fuck, when you said that shit and you're like, yo, so hold on. You made people bracelet winners, but you haven't won a bracelet.
I
Yeah,
never,
exactly. Oh my god.
in my wildest dreams, when I asked the question, I never expected the answer to be yes, let alone two
No,
people.
there's
Oh my
no
God,
way
that's
it's only
hilarious.
two. That's gotta like he is infamous for Hendon shaming people, them being elite online players who go on to win bracelets.
Yeah, that was the other thing. Fats was saying, why don't you just start a tournament where instead of just playing poker, you'd guess everybody's Hendon mob, and then if you get close to it, you advance that way.
Oh my God.
Yeah, yo,
Well, he was
it was too good, yo.
going on and on about
How did
how
I miss
he
this?
can do that.
Oh my God. How the hell
Rube
did I
has
Fats was
been
like,
trying to
maybe
get the Hendon shame for years, and he refuses.
Fats was like, maybe worry but more about your cards than everybody's Hendon mob at the table. You might be able to win a bracelet. I'm like, oh my god,
Yo.
this guy is on fire tonight.
Look, the bottom line was I was there live watching him. His best game is seven stud eight. It's like his top game, at least at the time. It was like the top. It was like the top game in his repertoire,
right?
and he's at the final table, the 10K seven stud, and they're down to like five people. It's about 11 o'clock at night, and every hand, like he'll fold, and then he gets up from his table and he's on his phone, and he's trying to find somebody that can run down to the Mandalay Bay before midnight because he's got $150 worth of free play that's about to expire, and that's all he's worried about. He's not worried about the fact that he's five-handed playing for his first bracelet ever. And that's all he's worried about. And then he ended up getting second.
That shit was so savage. Because he actually was like answering it seriously. Well, no, I figured it out now. I sent somebody over here to fuck.
Dude, he had no idea he was getting trolled, like no clue whatsoever.
Oh,
Hey,
poor
hey, but even he knew not to talk to Greg Lark though. So shout out to Kessler for
Yeah.
that.
But
Kessler.
for the record, though, I won't let anybody else troll him. He's mine to troll. I'm his buddy and I love him. So that's the only reason I do that. But other people that do it just out of being mean, I don't let that happen.
Me neither, dude. I stick up for him all the time. Um I just don't think it's right what some people say. We're goofing around. He knows we're goofing around.
My
He knows you're goofing around trolling him, but there are people that are so mean and ugly to him. It's pathetic.
Every time he tells a story, I say, "Oh my God, that was like 1,000,000 to 1."
And then, yo, you want to know the disrespect? Greg Lark was like literally trying to tell him, "Oh, play me heads up, play me heads up." I'm like, "Oh man, shut the fuck."
Oh, Jesus.
And Greg Lark was totally out of control last night.
Yeah, he was on some shit. He had some medication on him or something. This dude was going from like being a troll, and then he sounded like he was fucking crying. He sounded like he was over there having like a range of emotions in fucking space. It was crazy.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Do we need to check on him today?
Maybe, I don't know. He was really
Hey,
on Kessler. It was kind of weird.
I got a question. How do we end up? How's the straw crabs doing?
Um, I don't know of anybody that has the crabs in this space, but I can tell you the team spacers have Ben Lamb as the chip leader of a big tournament today, going in with, what did I say, 5 left?
Yep.
Um,
Yeah, I saw that. That's still got to play today.
yes, and so
Yeah.
that's the
I,
mixed PLO no,
I
no
believe
limit
that's going
high
to be the
roller.
stream tonight.
It
is that
is.
how big of a buy-in was that?
That was at 25,000. So
Oh,
that'll
so
be a lot of points.
oh, all right, that's good.
So tomorrow morning we will look at the points for sure. Right now the last time I looked we're just 500 and something, but I
Yeah,
didn't
but
look
we were tied
yesterday.
with a bunch of people for that. So
Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I didn't look at it since I looked at that day that I posted that, cuz honestly, I'm like, okay, we're so many days out of it still that, I'm not going to try to look at it every day unless we just get on a big heater. John
Speaking
Robertson, go ahead, buddy.
I have a question I want to ask while Fats is in here because I really do have a sports betting question for him.
You go right ahead.
go ahead.
All right, Fats. I have the Pacers to win the whole thing at 120 to 1. I bet it in early April. It's not life-changing money. It's only one unit. It's not life-changing money for me. It's not a big deal. So whatever is fine. Would you hedge that? And if so, how?
All
Good
right,
question.
your biggest problem with hedging it is that Oak City is such a huge favorite. So you have to give up a lot. You have to give
That's
up right now if you wanted to just hedge it straight up. You have to give up 7 units for your 1 unit. Now you took 125, but you're giving up 7 units for your 1 unit. Um, if it's not life changing money for you in any way, my recommendation is root it in. There's not really a good spot to hedge it unless if you got a situation where the Pacers were, well, that doesn't even help you unless it was, if the Pacers got up, let's say the Pacers got up 3 games and had a huge lead, and in progress, you could take Oak City plus points, where if you lose that bet, you're going to win your future. But if you win that bet, the Pacers are still alive going in, so you could put money in your pocket. But that's a rare situation. You probably won't come across.
Well, I think the Pacers are going to win it all anyway. I think the bet's just going to pay me, but I thought maybe there was a strategy to maximize. But
The only way to,
I
to do it would have been if you anticipated Oak City being in the finals all along, and then bet futures on Oak City in addition to it, where you were getting maybe even money or 2 to 1 or something, you know, late in the season. But at that point, you didn't know how hot the Pacers were going to be anyway. So, you know, I don't know what the opportunities were to get down on Oak City, but I know there's some people that did some hedging by Oak City futures long before the finals.
I don't.
Okay, just for the record, I told John about, I don't know, 10 or 12 days ago, before they won the last series, that, and I'm sorry, John, but I told you this, that they were going to lose in the finals. So um, I just have that feeling they're losing, John. I hope for your sake they're not, because I know you love
oh,
your
that's
team.
it's fine either way. I'm not worried about it.
Fats.
I got to make sure hold on a second. I got to make sure my Jeep doesn't connect to my phone.
Go ahead, Brandon.
I was just gonna ask Fats. I don't know exactly what the number is, but I thought I heard somebody say a good hedging opportunity would be like betting OKC in 5 or 4 or
Yeah,
kind of a
those.
something like that. I think it would be. I thought somebody said it's almost plus money for them to win in 5, but that seems crazy.
Well,
It should be still be minus money there.
the problem with those types of hedges is they're too speculative because that doesn't mean they're going to win in 5 or 6. So you could just lose that bet and still be in bad shape. There's no
Right.
there's
So
no real correlation between that bet and whether or not the Pacers are going to win or lose. So you're basically just making another bet and hoping it offsets, but there's no direct correlation that actually is a hedge there. You're just making another bet.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like it would be even worse if you if they lost in 7 and you bet like OKC in 5, OKC in 6, like that was your two hedges, and they lost in 7. Like not only did I lose my original bet, I lost my two hedges too. So I lost even more money.
Well, if I want to be honest, guys, I'm already kind of free rolling because the same day I placed the Pacers to win it all, I placed a 50-1 on it being OKC and Indiana in the finals. So that one's already paid. So I'm good
Oh,
on
well, there
that.
you go.
So I just didn't know if there was any other strategies I needed to be looking at uh, as the
Well, that
games
was your
go.
hedge. That was your hedge right there. The 50-1 that they're both playing each other. That was your hedge on the other one. So
Yeah,
I would definitely say rooted in at that point.
just let it go and hopefully we get it.
Yeah, because you already scored on the 50-1.
Oh yeah, that one put me ahead. So then I'm just hoping that we win the whole thing so I can cover these finals tickets because those things were ridiculous.
Are you going to
Uh,
which game are you going to?
Game 3.
Hell
That's
yeah,
awesome.
that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm taking my kiddo. It's going to be exciting. They're very bad tickets, but we're in the building.
Yeah, I mean it's expensive to go to finals games, man. So just to be in the building is pretty cool.
The
That
yeah,
is
first
so cool.
row 2
it's
of the
going to be
balcony. Go ahead.
it's going to be a more expensive game in Indiana than watching Caitlin Clark.
Oh, look, I was actually like last week when she was out, I almost got floor tickets for $250. Like I really considered it because I was like, when are you going to get to see the Fever on the floor? But then I knew I was going to hopefully have to buy finals tickets, so I waited because I didn't want to spend that much money.
Hey, ASG, do you know what place our team is on the fantasy league? I'm trying to scroll really quick to give an update, but
And no, I do not.
I'm trying to find it. I can't find us. Is there like a search button, or I'm just
The,
scrolling
the
and
last thing you posted was we had like 32 points and we're tied for 545th. But if we were tied with 100 teams at 32, then we really were like tied for 400th.
right.
Or no, if we're tied for five, so we could have been tied with like 100 teams at 500. So the next spot, 33 points might have been, 700.
Yeah, I'm trying to find us, but I don't see us.
Okay, I
I mean,
found it
but I'm
right
just
here. We
scrolling.
have 35 points and we're ranked 695th.
Damn it, we went down. Okay, but Ben Lamb is going to give us a boost, y'all. So
It's team spacers.
yeah, I don't know
Does
why.
anybody does anybody know exactly if you were to take the bracelet, how many points that would be?
It would be 110 points.
Oh, that would be a big jump.
Yeah, yeah.
So looking up the scale, how many? So that would be like 145. If you had 145 now, where do you rank?
All right, hold on.
Well, it depends on who else has Ben Lamb on their
Well,
team.
right, obviously.
Well, let's just look at 145 as of today. If we had 145, we would be in 158th place.
We need to win a few more bracelets than that. Then
Yeah,
Well, of course.
we're only 10% of the way through the.
Yeah, we got a
It's
long
the
ways
whole
to
month
go,
of
people.
the whole month of June into
Yeah,
July.
exactly. That's exactly why I haven't looked at it every day because I
Yeah,
was like, it's almost futile, right?
right. All I did was, I regret my poker team buying Big Hooney instead of Ben Lamb, even though like I'm at the bottom regardless. But yeah, it's his streaming, and if you like, speaking of Ben Lamb and Run Good, both Ben Lamb and the Pie Gal guy that won the million, gave $100 to Kev Math before they played in their first tournament. So there you go.
Oh, there you go. Tip Kevin Math for some run good.
So did Barry, and he's got scammed every fucking tournament he's played in.
Just for the record, I have Big Hooney and Ben Lamb on my fantasy team for poker.org. And Steven Song, but is that going to count on that one?
It equally didn't count on both weeks, if that's what you're
Oh,
asking.
that's right. I even tweeted that now that I said that out loud. Damn it. That's going to haunt me if we end up losing by 100 points. That'll haunt me for sure.
Should have taken Alan Kessler.
And I'm going to let you look up how many points he's garnered,
Oh,
and
I'm
let me
aware.
know
I'm just kidding.
tomorrow. And let me know tomorrow, Brandon.
I would guess somewhere in the neighborhood of 0.
Well, no, he's made the money, I think, in a couple, so he's got a few points anyway.
1 or 2. Maybe. Okay.
Yeah. So
Points are points. How many points have you got, Brandon?
0.
There it is.
Yo, cold as ice though.
I didn't even know what to say after that.
God damn, John.
Oh, speaking of comebacks, did you see the video with Deeb earlier?
No.
So
Oh
there
Oh
God.
wait,
there was
wait,
some
wait,
rule
wait. The one.
change and or some like issue with the antes, and Deeb was like on video taking credit for cleaning it up, and then somebody at the other table was like, "Yeah, but we already played a table with a hand with the old antes," and you know, and Deeb goes, "Well, it's better to fix it now than to fix it later," and and the guy's like, "Actually, it's worse to fix it after one hand than to just keep going with it." And Deeb goes, "You see my poster on the wall? Where's your one?" And the guy responds, "You're so big, I'm surprised you could fit in that poster." Something like that.
Yo,
So
you're talking
bad.
about a
So
Wasser,
bad.
right? That one video clip that was awesome.
But that got Cherish. Wasn't it Cherish
Yeah, that
Andrews
got
that?
got her the min cash. Yep.
Yep, got her the min cash. So it did affect the game. Whether we like it or not, or whether we're for it or not, did affect the game. So, got her a min cash of 20K.
That was a min cash of 50,000, if I'm not
Oh,
mistaken.
50? Oh, I thought it was
Yeah,
Nice.
20.
just a
Oh,
Nice.
pesky,
shit.
pesky little $50,000
Jesus.
get the bed. Yeah.
Jesus.
That was
Lord.
pretty lit though, and I love how at the end it was Shaun Deeb, right? It was Shaun Deeb and
Yeah.
Wasserman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love how Deeb was like, yeah, we're good over here. I know how to run a tournament. What?
But the funniest thing I think of the whole thing was Deeb was just fucking cracking up. He's like, "Oh man, you got me good. That was a good one." So at least he
Because
could
it
laugh at
was it
himself,
was good, and that dude Wasser's voice is loud as shit. I've been at a table with him before. He just whispers, and that shit sounds like he's yelling at you. It was awesome,
My man said, "I'm surprised you can fit on a poster." Oh my God. Dude.
bro, bro.
Brutal. Brutal. Brutal for sure. No doubt about it. All right. Anybody else have anything they want to bring up, chat about? Bobby, what do you got going on in your world in Texas?
Fucking nothing. I'm not doing anything at all. I have
Are
to
you
go
not
be old.
working or what?
Yeah, I work a little bit here and there, but it's slow. Everybody's in Vegas, but I'll be there tonight. If you're in Houston playing poker, come to Champions, blah blah blah. I'll be there.
Tip our man Bobby. He's a hardworking guy. All right, Robertson. John Robertson, you have anything else you'd like to bring up or talk about? Go Pacers.
Yeah, just go Pacers. I hope they can steal game one, shock the world, but we'll see.
I think they can get game
That's
one.
I think they'll win one of two in Oklahoma City, but I don't know which
I
one.
think they can get game one.
But I'm also biased, so we'll see. I know not everybody's that excited about it as I am, but that's been my focus for the last couple of months, to be honest with you.
Absolutely. We all
That's a
know it.
fun run with the bet you had. So,
And John,
did you have
speaking,
anything to win the conference?
No, I just had I had the Indy to win the East and Oklahoma City to win the West at 50-1. That's the only bet I had there. Um,
you know,
I'll sometimes do same game parlays on the Pacers just because I know enough about the team that I can usually get a decent one, but I don't do a lot of I don't do a lot of futures betting most of the time.
going back to your hedge conversation, if the Pacers go up 2-0, that might give you a good opportunity to get a decent price on a hedge with OKC.
Yeah, I might not even do anything just because, like I said, it's not life changing money. My unit size is not enough to like write home about. But
Also, if
I mean,
you're up
it's
2-0, you probably might not want to hedge.
Yeah, man, that's true. That's a good point.
yeah. Like even if we can win both games in OKC, like Pacers can't win a game three. So that sucks. That's the game we've got tickets to too. I don't know why I bought Game 3 tickets,
I
but
All
was gonna
right, let
say,
me tell you something. That this is kind of the mindset we had when my daughter was traveling playing a sport, and she would lose a match, and it was a big match. I would say to her, "You're saving that for a bigger, more important day." So that's what they're doing. They're saving that game 3 win for a bigger, more exciting day win. And that's going to be when you're in those stands with your daughter. Mark my words, people.
well, either way, it's going to be great. Like I went to Game 1 of the World Series in 2014 when the Royals went because they're my team, and like it had been 30 years since they'd made the World Series. So I paid $800 for one ticket and went by myself, and they got destroyed by Madison Bumgarner. But I still enjoyed the experience. It was still great being
Excellent.
Wait,
there.
was that
So
was
okay,
that 2010?
all right,
2014, Game 1 of
all right, John,
2014.
just rubbing
Because I remember
2014 back in my face, I guess. Okay,
I
cool.
remember they played the Phillies in 1980.
Yeah, it was the Phillies in 1980, and then they made the World Series in '85 against the Cardinals. I was 5 years old.
That's so cool you went to the game. Good for you. I love that because you're right. It's all about the experience too. It's not only that you want your team to win, but those big game, those series, any of those World Cups, the Super Bowl, the March Madness finals, whatever it is, it's just a different electric feeling being there and enjoying the whole experience. So good for you. You guys are going to have a
Yeah,
fucking blast.
that was my rationale. Like I've been to the World Series to see my team play there, and I don't know when I'll get to see the Pacers in the NBA Finals again. So I'm going to do that. And then the last one on the bucket list is Super Bowl, but those things are ridiculous. So who knows if that'll ever happen? But
Yeah, I've been
uh,
biting, trying to bite the bullet on a Super Bowl experience myself. And I just can't justify $10,000 for an experience for the Super Bowl. Like, come on, can somebody just like invite me as their plus one or something? I might have to get back on that Vegas corner now that I don't have to do it for Eagles tickets, but here we are.
Sherry. Yeah, I was thinking the Super Bowl, like you're sitting for 6,000, the cheapest ticket last year. You're sitting next to Jesus Christ himself. You're up that high.
Exactly.
I'd pay 6,000 to sit next to Jesus. We have a good
Well, that's
conversation.
true. That's true.
That's
But you barely see the game from up there for $6,000. I mean, that's just the Super Bowl is just kind of crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah, and just your luck you'd get sat behind a column or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And
well,
I
and
paid $6,000 for this shit. Like what?
and there's no halftime, food there that I want. I like my halftime snacks. We make some great dips for halftime. So, spend $10,000 and have no halftime snacks, or save $10,000 and have my halftime snacks. Here we are. So if I'm on a corner in Vegas, mind your own damn business. It's for Super Bowl tickets now. Anyway, we're going to keep on moving. Um, ASG, you have any last things you'd like to bring up or comments or anything?
I don't know if this was brought up while I had some work stuff, but since it's Thursday, reminder, you can go to Old Red during your off time. Nikki Limo will be there, and you can maybe win some free WPT Gold stuff.
And that's the WPT Gold Rush Lounge located at Old Red on the third floor. Open Thursdays through Sunday, 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. They're giving away some fun stuff. Get there, and I hear the food there is amazing. So you might want to plan maybe dinner or lunch, or dinner because it's only open in the evening. Plan a dinner there.
Yeah,
Meet some friends there.
50% off. It might be down to normal pricing by that point.
Touche, touche. Fat, do you have anything you'd like to bring up before we log off, bud?
Um, no, I don't know if anybody saw my healthcare tweet yesterday, but if you did, appreciate anybody retweeting it. I'm trying to on my United Healthcare made my enemies list now, so we're over 40 something thousand views. We've had over 20 retweets, and so if anybody takes a look at that, sees that, a lot of you have liked it already too, but I'm trying to get it up to 100,000 views.
Okay, 100,000 views so that United Healthcare reaches out, or because you're trying to get clicks for Twitter for.
No,
Okay,
I want them. I'm there. I'm not there for the clicks. It's for the just exposure of what
okay,
pieces of crap they are.
okay. I
I
want
mean,
people to understand your purpose. That's why I'm
yeah,
asking.
I mean, the all I, as I said in the tweet, I can only imagine what this company did to that Mangione guy to make him do what he did. But
It was about, wasn't it about his mother's was turned down for treatment? One of his
it
family
was
members.
some type of denied
Yeah,
care,
Yeah, it
yeah.
was. Yeah,
and
His mother. Yeah.
they just don't care. It's amazing.
I
So
hear
I
you.
just put the story of what the situation, current situation I have with them up there. So
So refer to Fats's Twitter account and read his story. Retweet it if you can. Like it if you can. He would appreciate it for sure. And Fats, we need you to stay off of social media and get better, my friend.
but that's
Yeah.
what keeps me. That's what's keeping me going. I'm not betting
Aw,
right now,
I
so I had
know.
nothing else to do. This is very therapeutic for me.
All
And
right.
on behalf of Shaun McCormack, I'll say allegedly Luigi did that.
Free Luigi.
Oh, I love it. Dana, any last thoughts, questions,
Oh,
or topics?
well, I'm not about, you know, not to get too serious, but on that last note, the free Luigi thing, if you go shooting somebody in the back, you're gonna have your day in court.
No, I'm
But
not saying that he should be freed. I'm saying based on what I went through, I
I
can
see
only imagine what he went through to have been driven um,
madness.
to
Yeah.
do that.
Okay, for
I
the
never
record,
once said
okay,
anything like I hope he
I
gets away with
apologize.
it.
no, 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 no,
Or,
time out, time out. For the record, Brandon chimed in and said free
That
for
that was
Luigi.
me. Yeah, that was me.
So,
Sorry.
yeah, well, yeah, that figures. Brandon
Yeah. So I
always
just had
says
a
something like
suggestion.
that.
I know last minute fire up. Anyway, I was just gonna suggest dropping that tweet into the show's comment feeds because
Now, hang on, I can
I'm
do
not
that real
sure where to
quick.
look.
Hang on, I'll do it real
yeah,
quick.
and you could just click on his picture and go to his Twitter feed, and it will be there, folks. And he's
Well,
going to
every
leave
time
it
he
up.
talks, I can't see him talking. Like
Oh,
Fats,
That's
yeah,
it.
I don't know who's who.
the real Fats. He's got Dalmatians in his
Oh,
image.
there he is. It says he's a listener.
I
Gotcha.
just put it. I just put it up on the jumbo.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
That's all.
All right, Isaac, any last thoughts or questions or topics you'd like to bring up?
Uh, GVG one shot.
Oh, yeah.
We're running it to June 16th. June 16th is the official date now for the game. Um, Satellite to the WSOP. Any info, hit me up. And we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Awesome. Thank you. Also, don't forget tomorrow at 4:30 Pacific, 7:30 Eastern, I will be interviewing Kenny Lambert Jr., a living poker legend. Should be a really fun interview with lots of old stories, I'd imagine. Looking forward to that. Fats, did you have something to add?
Um, no, I don't. I put it up on the jumbotron, but outside of
Okay.
that,
Okay,
I think
perfect.
I'm good for the day.
Perfect. Karen, any last comments or questions or topics?
I know I'm good. I enjoyed the space today.
Thank you. Me too. So, that being said, we're going to sign off. I appreciate all of you hanging out with us this morning. We'll be back at it again tomorrow morning, of course. Bring your poker topics. If Fats is here, your sports betting topics, because he's probably the only one. Well, some of you can answer it, but I certainly can't answer those questions about sports betting. So,
Here
anyway,
comes Brandon. Come lately with a
oh,
hand.
hold
Okay, I
on.
just
We've got Bathwater for buy-ins. I'm going to give you the floor first. Go ahead, Bathwater. As soon as you can, Bathwater. Go ahead. I know you're connecting. Hello, Bathwater. Going once, going twice. Brandon, did you have something to say?
I just had one little interesting thing that maybe you could or somebody could comment on. I thought it was very weird that in the WSOP event number 3, the $5,000 8-handed no limit had less runners than event number 5, the $5,000 PLO. I wonder if that's a trend, like if more players are going towards PLO instead of no limit, or if that's just a one-off.
PLO is very popular.
I
Very popular. And early in the WSOP, I think the numbers, a lot of people come toward the end because they're also going to play the main event. So I wouldn't read too much into it, I guess is my point.
Yeah, I mean, it was just interesting to me. I think it was like
Yeah.
75 more people in the same, $5,000 same amount, but
Yeah.
75 more people played PLO over an 8-handed no limit.
Well, a lot of people don't like No Limit. They definitely like PLO more, for
And
sure.
and I guess that's my whole point is I feel like the game is kind of shifting towards a lot of players that play poker like very religiously seem to like PLO and the mixed games more than
Oh,
no
yeah.
limit.
Yep. You're right on
And I
track.
made that pivot early, and I got to the point where why am I playing no limit hold'em? It's you can do everything right, make every correct decision, and be busted on one hand. But if you play not so much the PLO, but the limit games, whether it be stud or uh, Omaha, you can't get busted unless you have 5 or 6 bad things happen to you.
Got it.
And that's to me was the difference. To you have much more opportunity to accumulate chips, and you can't just do everything right and just you know be out because some guy played reckless.
Right. Well,
And there's a lot more strategy options in those mixed games too, because you got to have card memory more than a hold'em and all that stuff.
I love that. Thank you for updating us,
And
guys and gals.
I feel like Sean McCormack made a good point, and not that it's chess or checkers, but it kind of seems like that. Like the mixed games are more like chess, and the no limits like checkers. Maybe that's a bad analogy. It's not that
Yeah, that's a bad
It's a
analogy,
not
horrible
that
one, but it's okay.
simplified. It's not that
but it's a
simplified. But
Brandon analogy, so we accept it.
all right, Bats. I swear to God.
Brandon, are you done yapping so Sherry could close this space, or
Yes,
do we
yes.
have to listen to you anymore?
All right, mother.
All right. This is what we're going to do. Sherry's just going to mute everyone so I can send everyone off to a great day. How about that? Maybe that's going to be my new strategy. Love you all. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate everybody's contributions. My listeners, too, you're contributing by listening. So appreciate you. If you're listening at a future date, love that. And I appreciate you. If you're on the felt today, good luck. If you're not, touch that grass. It's important to do so. Much love to everybody. Have a great day. And again, thank you.